Welcome back to the Beyond the Leash podcast. Guys, we have had a break for a little bit due to the New Year's. Happy New Year, everybody. It is 2026 now. We are starting our 13th episode, I'm going to say. I think it's
I
13th.
think it's our 13th.
Yeah, our 13th episode of the Beyond the Leash podcast, and what a banger we have today of topics. I'm so excited. So let's get into this. This is the show where we dive into the world of service dogs and beyond the leash, unleashing the truth, breaking down those barriers, and sharing incredible stories behind the scene of those harnesses. I am your host, Service Dog Educator.
And I'm Bumblebee.
Whether you're a handler or an ally or just curious, you're in the right place. Let's get ready to learn, laugh, and be inspired, because life is so much better with these working dogs by your side. Let's get started. So our first topic of today is something that I've seen on my FYP that I even commented on, and that was driving me bananas, guys. I cannot tell you how much this drove me crazy. This guy has an account, and he has been known to take his, not miniature horses, regular size horses, into different establishments, whether that's, some are pet friendly, but some of them are non-pet friendly. And his recent video that they put out was they took their regular size horse into Target. Now here's why I have a major issue with this video. Basically, the topic also says crossing the line, bringing horses into Target. That's basically what the topic is, but we're going to get into that a little bit with this story. This guy brought in his horse, thought it was hilarious, recorded it, of course, and the Target people were very upset. They were telling him to leave and everything else like that. He wasn't listening. He kept riding the horse around the store, and then one of the people that was recording was like, man, I hope your horse doesn't take a crap, and it ended up taking a crap in the store. That was one of my biggest problems besides bringing the horse in, because I've been around horses, guys, and their crap does not smell beautiful. No crap does, but theirs crap is very stinky. And that is around food. I don't care if you think it's funny or not. That to me is disgusting, having a horse crap near my food. Like, to me, that's me not wanting to go anywhere near that store and hope they get shut down, kind of thing. That's how much I feel about them. Now, I'm not mad at the store managers or anything else like that. They were telling the guy to leave, and they were saying, you need to get this horse out of here. But the guy's entitlement of, I'm just gonna do this for the videos and this is funny, ha ha ha, like, that royally pissed me off. I don't know how you feel about it, Bumble. I sent you the video and everything, and you're more into, like, you know the world of horses a little bit more than I do. So, I don't know. What's your thoughts on this whole...
Honestly, it genuinely horrified me. Like, there was so much that could have gone wrong in that, in that whole video. The horse could have slipped on the linoleum and broken its leg. It could have spooked at somebody and kicked someone. There's health concerns, there's safety violations, there's just so much wrong with what this guy did. And on top of that, not only that, but he also brought an underage minor, I assume, on top of the horse with him. So that's not only child endangerment, because again, if the horse spooks and it runs and it decides to slip and fall or kick somebody, that's endangerment of everybody around it. On top of the safety the health code violations, like you said, with the horse taking a crap. In general, I used to take really good care of my horses, but horses are not generally quote unquote clean animals. Like, they're not known to be, so clean that you can eat off of them. And I'm assuming that this person probably didn't groom their horse before they went into the Target. So I can only imagine all the dust and dirt and, grime and whatever else this horse probably rolled in before they put the saddle on it and then took it to the Target. So I'm going to congratulate the or the not Walmart, the Target employees, for stepping up and saying, "Hey, you need to leave. Your horse isn't allowed in here." It's a lot better than the Walmart video that I watched last year, which was, they just kind of like stood around and were like, "Huh? Somebody brought a horse in here? What?" And they were standing around like, like they were moon blinked. It's like, what? So,
Well, can I also add on really
yeah.
quick? I don't think that they were saying get out because of the law aspect. I think they were saying get out because it was a giant horse and they were like, "Oh my gosh, like this horse
Yeah, that's
shouldn't be in
true.
here." Which could, like, they're right, the horse shouldn't be in there in general.
But
But
Target's
if
also
it was
not
a
known
dog,
for Yeah,
if it
Target
was a
Target's also
dog
not
doing
known
this,
for
they
kicking out
wouldn't
fake
done
dogs.
nothing.
Target's also not known for kicking out fake service animals. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I think what last week I went into Target just to grab something because the local Walmart near me didn't have it. Um, and I checked Aldi because I hate going into Target. It's expensive as shit for like I don't know Dollar Tree items. Like it genuinely sucks. But I went in there because they had a product that I needed, and immediately off the bat, I saw somebody with a fucking chicken in there. Not a
Yeah.
dog, not a horse, not a cat, not a raccoon. Though I've seen that before, but a chicken. Like, are you serious? Like, what inclined you to bring a chicken into Target? And then, of course, all the employees are just like, "Oh, it's a little chicken, it's a little chicken," and they're just cooing and cawing over this stupid fucking chicken that shouldn't be in there to begin with. And I just walked out. I was like, you know what? That's no. You know what? I'll live without this thing. And so I did. I walked out the door. I just said, you know what? Not worth my time. I'm not going to make myself upset over something like that. Of course, as soon as I left, that person also followed me out, the one with the chicken. And I did kind of rip into him a little bit. I looked him in the eye and I said, you're not supposed to bring animals in there, right? And she goes, I don't care. And it's like, yeah, you'll care when it's $1,000 deep and you don't own chickens anymore. You know, and of course,
The
they're
whole point
just
is that this guy was. I'm pretty sure.
disgustingly, abhorrently not. I don't want to say abusing the animal, but technically, it could be considered abuse.
That, but it's also the fact that they know what they're doing is to get views, and they know that number one, any common sense individual knows that a horse using the restroom in public is disgusting, especially in an establishment where it's non-pet friendly.
And
Like
I don't
that's
even think
their
they cleaned it
food.
up.
No, the people on the horse, I don't know.
Like, I don't even think the guy filming cleaned it up.
I don't know. But either way, that's disgusting, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I mean, like honestly, if it were me and that happened at my store, I would have been calling the cops.
And
Like,
they should have.
there's
They should have
there's there's a
100% called the
limit.
cops on this guy. Because I'm sorry. In what right mind are you thinking, oh, it's okay to take this horse in here that's not potty trained? Like, even miniature horses have to be potty trained out in public. And these comments where people are saying, well, just call it a service animal. Did they ask if it was a service animal? And I'm sitting there saying, even if he said it was a service animal, number one, he's falsifying it as a service animal, which is illegal. Number two, horses can't be service animals. So they're in their rights of kicking out that animal either way. Because at the end of the day, it's not regular size horses, it's miniature horses and it's dogs. Depending on what state he lives in, it can be cats and some other animals depending on what the state law or the county law says. But at the end of the day, federal law states dogs and miniature horses under a certain weight. And I even said that in the comments. It has to be under a certain weight and height. It even stipulates that in the federal law. It has to be under this amount of weight and this amount of height in order for it to be a service animal.
Yeah,
They can't go over that.
no, and I just find it abhorrently negligent. To even if the horse was wearing boots, which it was, there's still a possibility of it slipping and falling and potentially harming the people riding it and itself. And
Well, let's also put this into scenario really quick too. What if that was was somebody brought in their dog that claimed it as a service animal, right? And that dog is not a legitimate service animal.
And
Or
it goes
even if
after the
it is a
horse.
legitimate service animal, has never been around horses or trained around horses, so they get spooked and go up to the horse, and then the horse gets spooked. What are they supposed to do? That's somebody else gonna get hurt now. That's somebody else that's gonna have injuries, or they are gonna get hurt, or that horse is gonna get hurt, or that dog will.
It's
Because at
going
the
to
end of the
be
day, they
it's
would be liable.
it's going to be a combination of property damage, people being hurt, everything. It's such a terrible, terrible thing that could have happened. Yeah, just because it didn't happen, it's still encouraging the potentiality. It's still tempting fate. It's not a good thing to tempt fate.
No, it's 100% not.
And I think what's even worse is that, growing up around horses, I was always taught that horses are, to have toothpicks for legs and the brains, of a shotgun. They tend to, spook at the slightest sound. They spook at the slightest thing. I remember when I was training horses, I had to desensitize my horses to just about everything, including different colored shirts, because sometimes, like, if I wore a red shirt, one of my horses used to spook at it. And eventually I just made them wear it. If you get scared of it, you wear it as a hat. But your horses are never going to be quote unquote bulletproof.
No,
Never.
I 100% and agree. And my biggest thing is the whole point of us and during this first topic, right, is us basically talking about how this could have injured the animals, could have injured the people on the horse, people around it, service dogs or service dogs in training, or even pets in that store, even though the pets shouldn't be in that store. But that's up for a lawsuit either way, because at the end of the day, that guy or girl or whoever
It's a guy.
I kind of assumed it was a guy, but I didn't want to, assume pronouns. But whoever this person is, right? If they are taking this horse in there and they are doing what they are doing, they are still liable. Even if the dog was not a legitimate service dog, would that person still be held liable? To a certain extent, yes. But at the end of the day, you brought in your service animal or non-service animal. You brought in your pet.
Yeah. It's just a bad situation all around. And it does. This is the reason why people get such bad raps. With animals in general. Service animal or not. It's like, even at my store, like, we're considering no longer being pet friendly because of all the stuff that's been happening recently. In recent couple of like months or so, is we've had a couple of dogs try to attack customers, and it's like we've had to tell people, like, hey, listen, if you want to shop here, you got to leave your dog at home. Like, we're pet friendly, yeah, but your dog is not people friendly. So
Right.
you need to leave it at home.
Yeah, 100%. And that's to me is the wild thing, is that even when I was commenting on the video and like trying to give somewhat education to the individuals that were commenting that you just claim it as a service animal, I'm like, that is so wrong to do.
And
Would you go up
disrespectful.
to it's disrespectful. It's so wrong to do. It's like you wouldn't go up to a civilian and say, "Oh, just claim to be a military member to get this discount." Like, that is so disrespectful to us, to the disabled community in general. Like, anyone who has a disability or has a service animal or whatever the case is, we guys, and I'm gonna preface this a little bit. In March, it's actually March 12th, will be the anniversary of the ADA becoming into law, right? When the individuals who were wanting this law crawled up the steps of Congress. In March, it'll be the anniversary on the 12th of that. It's a slap of face to every single one of them. The little 8-year-old girl with cerebral palsy crawling herself up there and says that I will get up there if it takes all night. Like, I've seen recent videos of all this, and like, it made me cry. And it's like, that is so disrespectful to them who sat there and crawled up the steps of Congress. People getting out of their wheelchairs, taking away their aids to help them on a daily basis, taking away those and crawling up the steps of Congress for us to have these rights, and people just spitting in our faces. How disrespectful is that?
It's
These aren't games. These dogs aren't fun, and we want these dogs with us all the time. I would guarantee you, most of these disabled individuals would rather take a pill that takes away all of their issues. Whatever it is, a mental, physical, medical, it doesn't matter. They would rather take the pill that takes it all away than having to have a dog come with them everywhere they go so they can get gawked at, made fun of, treated like a circus. Their dog gets distracted, this happens, they get public access issues, their dog gets attacked, whatever the case is. They are gonna rather take that pill. Now,
I'd
are
rather
we
take
going to
that
sit
pill.
there and, want that pill to ever happen? Most of us, we try to live our lives as normal as possible because we know it's never going to happen. But if it wasn't one day where somebody came up to us and said, you can take this red pill and it will all go away and you'll never have another disability again and you will never need your dog again or whatever disability aid you use, you would rather take that pill to take away whatever is going on, whether that's the mental, physical, or medical, and pain associated with that, or the ability to not be able to do things, or whatever your reason why you would want to take it. I bet you would.
I know I would.
You wouldn't have to live like that.
And the thing is, we also have to remember that disability is not a matter of if, it's when.
Exactly.
Because you can become disabled at any time. Like, you could be fine tomorrow, and then the next day, you're in an accident. You slip and you fall. I mean, it happened to me
It happened
when
to
I was
me.
when I was 17 years old. I mean, I slipped and I fell, and I've been on a rapid decline in my health. Like, it's just you never think about it happening to you until it does. But then again, it also shouldn't you know it it
It
doesn't
doesn't
have
dictate your life.
it doesn't have to affect you to affect you.
It
You can
doesn't
still
make
have
you,
empathy.
your disability doesn't make you who you are, but it does make challenges within your life that change your way. Because I
Yep.
wasn't born disabled either. I became disabled at 18 years old. My children, now my oldest son, he was born disabled. He will never know anything different. Me, I had a normal childhood. I had grown up with friends, going out, hanging out with friends at 16, 17 years old, going and partying, getting married, and everything else like that, and all of this stuff. Well, I got married after became disabled, but still, my point is that I had all of these issues after I turned 18 and everything, and it was a life changing scenario where I became who I am now, and it does change you personally wise, but it doesn't change who you are. I was still the person who wanted to advocate and educate for other individuals, and I still had a passion for this prior to becoming disabled. It just lit a fire under my ass after I became disabled because I knew the challenges that people were facing and I wanted to do something about it. That's what happens, guys, is when you have something happen to you and this person bringing their horse out into a target and letting it crap on the floor is so disrespectful, and they should be locked up in jail. They should have their animals taken away, they should be locked up in jail, and they should not be able to own an animal again. Because that is so incredibly disrespectful for views. Just
Agreed.
to have views. That pisses me off something
Just
fierce.
for internet bonus points.
Exactly. Well, we're going to move on to the second topic if you're ready for it, Bumble.
All right. Do you want me to start it off?
Go for it.
All right. So, Mobility Service Dogs 101, tasks, gears, and ethical uses. So, the other day I was at my store and I'm, at the registers, and I have a lady come up to me and we start talking about medical mobility aids, because I currently have a stand up rollator, which for everybody who needs to know is basically like a walker with wheels, but you stand up instead of hunch over. So this lady is like, oh, well, how much did you pay for it? Where did you get it? Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. My son needs it. He recently got into a car accident. And I'm like, okay, well, I think that would be a great topic to bring up on our podcast. And, thankfully, we're going to cover this today. because I'm going to dedicate this specific topic to that lady, um, and her son. Mobility aids really are kind of a one size, not necessarily like a one size fits all, but like, once you find the correct tool, it changes your life forever. Now, this really isn't like, I don't want to say not about service dogs, but service dogs can be a mobility aid as well. But you have canes, you have walkers, you have rollators, you have stand-up rollators, you have I forget what the arm brace canes are. You have walking sticks, you have just about, every kind of mobility aid out there.
Crutches, by the way.
Crutches, well, I'm not talking about like like, I'm talking about like the ones that go on your arms, not the one that go
Yeah, those
under
are
your
still called
arms.
crutches.
They're still called crutches? Okay. The forearm crutches. Um, every kind of conceivable mobility aid can change your life. Of course, it's going to be a whole trial and error. There's some days where, using one mobility aid might not be as effective as another one. Wheelchairs is another one. That's another one. But I want to say that, like, in the last couple of years, again, with my spine being as bad as it is, I've gone from one mobility aid to another, to another, to another. I started off with, just, needing to sit down every 30 minutes. And then I started using a cane for a few years. And then I started using crutches for a couple of years when I had them. And eventually now I've got my stand up rollator. Finding mobility aids that work for you is a lot of trial and error. Sometimes people use mobility aids incorrectly. Like a lot of people, whenever you think mobility aid, my first thought is to think of Dr. House from House MD from like the early 2000s, where he limps with the cane. I thought that was how canes worked for a long time, and actually ended up causing myself more harm doing it that way than the correct way. You
Can we
know,
also mention really quick how cinema and TV shows don't properly show how to use
mobility aids.
medical tools
Oh,
or
yeah.
mobility aids, medical tools, and also portraying disabled individuals in a different light?
Oh, agreed. Like they genuinely mess them all up. Even the good doctor, as somebody who has high functioning autism, and actually did thinking about getting into the medical field, um, my mother started watching Good Doctor, and my mom's just like, "Is this true? Can you actually do this?" And it's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, like, but that's not how that works.
Well, hang on. Let me, because I actually watched The Good Doctor, somewhat. So it was about how Sean has autism, but also has another disorder that causes him to know, like, have a really good memory of things.
Yeah,
I can't
a
remember what the
photogenic
disorder,
memory.
somewhat like that.
No, that's what it
And
is. It's a photogenic memory.
yeah, it's not all autistic individuals that have that, and I think
Yeah,
that they were pretty clear in the episodes about that.
yeah, but the thing is, I also have a partial photogenic memory. They don't just beautiful minds show up in front of me. No, my brain just thinks, oh, I've seen this before. I know how to do this. And, or, oh, I watched a picture of, or I watched a video of this, or, oh, I saw a picture of this happening and be put together, you know. But it doesn't just like beautiful minds appear in front of me, like, and it's like, playing the video. It's like, no, that's not how our brains technically function. It's not a cinema. We can recall what things looked like and how to do them just based on kind of somewhat, the brain technically is a muscle, so technically it would be considered muscle memory, but it's not beautiful minds.
All right.
And, I want to say, like, even Dr. House, he probably does have a form of autism. I mean, it was explored in one episode that he might be autistic. Um, Even that's not a very good portrayal of autism, because his, the whole premise to his quote unquote autism is that he's just a rude asshole. Like, am I wrong?
Yeah, But just to get back, I just want to get back into the actual topic. I
Yeah.
just want to state that not like if you see something on TV that is representing a disabled individual, it's not always going to be 100% like that is
Accurate.
correct of how every single disabled individual is. Because we have to say this in our community as well, the service dog community or the disabled community, is that just because you have the same diagnosis as one individual, like for example, Bumble has level 1 to level 2 autism. Both of my sons have level 1 to level 2 autism. That doesn't mean my sons are going to act exactly like her and she's going to act exactly like my sons. They are two different individuals, two different brains, two different mindsets, and their disability affects them differently than the other. So you
Yeah.
can't, that's why it's called autism spectrum disorder for a reason, because not everybody is going to fit in the cookie cutter box.
And really, all medical mobility and, psychiatric disabilities are all, kind of spectrum disorders if you think about it. You
Really?
know,
Yeah.
I know somebody with heart disease. I know two people with heart disease. One affects them more greatly than the other one. One person goes to the hospital like, two or three times, a year, and the other one goes like every other month.
Yeah, my
Like,
dad's every other month too.
yeah, so it's very much a spectrum on all ends, no matter where you go. But
Yeah,
let's go
100%.
back to the topic. But to finish out what I was going to say is, mobility aids, and especially with service dogs, gear that you have really impacts your dog. You want to make sure that it's properly seated, that it's properly fitted, that the handles aren't too tall or too short. Um, and this also goes for guiding as well. If your dog is like 95% handle, you that's too small of a service dog for mobility. In the blind sense, and there is an ethical way and an unethical way to use a mobility service dog. Put doing weight bearing when the dog is. I know this is kind of like a community standard and not necessarily like a real true thing, but using a dog that's less than 50% of your body weight, like if you weigh 100 pounds, if the dog is, 50 pounds, it's kind of okay. But then again, you still want to use a bigger dog, you know, and, if you weigh 200 pounds, you want a dog that's probably going to weigh 150 to 160. Anything above that, get a miniature horse. Because
100%.
horses are meant for, somewhat meant for load bearing. Dogs are really not.
Well, it's even like when I had my interview with
Honey.
the honey yes, was it honey? I think so. Anyways, it was a miniature horse handler. They even said that miniature horses are made for mobility assistance and guiding. They're like that's the main uses that they were um you know like put for when they became known as service animals. And while they can do other things like glucose detection and heart rate detection, they're really good on the mobility side because they can carry a lot more and they can help aid an individual a lot more with the mobility side or guiding wise.
Well, you also have to remember
So
the history of miniature horses. Miniature horses were typically used to pull carts, like little tiny wood carts, that would be filled with, either milk or with small rocks or whatever else that you could find that, you could put on a cart. Um and that's typically what they were used for in when they were originally created. So, doing guiding tasks and doing weight bearing, specifically down and also forward momentum is typically what they were bred to do. And, you also have to think about like the way that horses bones are structured as well. They're meant for downward pressure to a degree. Now you
I
can't.
think, like, can we also say really quick as well? Like, while dogs can still do mobility assistance, yes, I am not going to say that they cannot. Can I stipulate that I would rather see more individuals, depending on their weight, get more of a miniature horse than a bigger dog most of the
Agreed.
time because a lot of people that use mobility assistants that want these bigger breed dogs like um
Great
Great Danes,
Danes,
Saint Bernards, Mountain
Leonbergs,
Bernese, or like even
Leonbergers.
Cane Corsos, all of those types of breeds. While yes, they can still be service dogs and great service dogs, and they can still aid a individual. Some of us with a heavier set build to us that are on the thicker side or heavier side, we still need a service dog that, or not even a dog that's going to be able to help through the mobility process a little bit better,
See,
you know.
like I know what you're talking about, but you know, I'm more of the mindset, that like we shouldn't be relying on service dogs for, I want to say specifically downward pressure. Like if you're getting up off a floor or something like that. Like no. You should be using a cane. You should be using, someone else to help you up off the floor. Like putting downward pressure on a dog's spine is so much more different than putting downward pressure on a horse's spine, a miniature horse's spine, because a miniature horse is kind of sort of built for that. So, but it's, I'm more of the mindset. I don't use my dog for, my downward mobility. I use my cane for that, or I use my walker for that, or I use my rollator for that. I don't use the dog.
Right, 100%. Um, yeah, I would rather people start using miniature horses more than dogs, depending on like I said, the weight and everything. I can understand why some individuals are like, I don't really want a horse because I don't have the room for it. Like if you look into the interview that I did with Honey and everything else like that on my old YouTube channel, not our new one that we do on here, but my old one called Hound to Hero, you will hear her say like they can live in apartments, trailers, they can live pretty much anywhere as long as you have a litter box that you change every single day. Like you pick up like your dog's poop every single day, you're gonna pick up this every day. Also, just somewhere that they can have some exercise, whether that's a gated area or you taking them on very long walks or taking them outside in general. But they would prefer it in a house kind of setting with a big backyard. But they can pretty much live anywhere as long as you're able to meet the requirements of that animal and everything. They're like the handler, their horses live inside their house with them and everything.
Yeah. And and again, potty training a horse and or a miniature horse and potty training a dog are very similar. You know, it's and again, miniature horses, within standard are going to be, about the same size as a Great Dane. So, I mean, if you're going to be getting a Great Dane as a service dog to begin with, or something of similar size, you might as well get a miniature horse. I mean, yes, there's going to be costs associated, like getting a farrier, of course, regular, checkups and vet visits, and
A
just
lot more
again,
exercise.
a lot more exercise. But again, it you're going to be doing that either way with a dog.
To me, it makes more sense because the animal is more built for that than the dog is,
Agreed.
and everything.
Agreed.
And I just want to say, like, I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that miniature horses live longer than dogs. I
Yeah,
can,
miniature horses typically on average live around 20 to 25 years, and dogs only live around half that.
I think it was
And
said also in the interview that I did with her that that miniature horses live a little bit longer than dogs do,
yeah, and on top of that,
and
dogs
they can
typically
work longer
retire.
too.
Yeah, they can work a lot longer as well, And I also want to put this out there. Great Danes usually don't live that long. So if you need a dog that is the size of a miniature horse, get a miniature horse. It lives longer.
There's a lot of like pain that's associated with that as well.
Agreed.
But yeah. that there's a lot of pain associated with those dogs a lot of the time as well because of how big they are and everything. There's a lot, like for example, German Shepherds, they
Hip
have a lot of
dysplasia.
like hip dysplasia and everything else like that. So to me, it seems a
More
lot better,
ethical.
ethical, yeah, to have a dog or a miniature horse rather than a dog to do mobility.
Yeah. You want to move on to the next topic?
Yes, hang on one second. Yeah, let's we can move on to our last topic that a lot of people have been wanting to hear my opinion and everything on.
Oh boy, the
Um
meat and potatoes.
that I've had a lot of people like message me and say, "Hey, have you heard about this?" And I haven't given away anything because I really wanted to talk about it in this podcast. I'm also going to disclaim really quick to those who have we are going to like discuss it and give a little bit of our opinion on it, but we're not going to deep dive into it too much because we do have an episode solely for this and we just don't know when it's going to come out. We are going to have an interview with an individual that has knows more about this individual and has done more research on this individual and everything. But we I do want to give because it is fresh out in the community and there's a lot of speculation and a lot of like stuff going on. I do want to like say our like not side because of course we're not involved with it, but what
At
we
least
feel
not
about it.
anymore.
Yeah, yeah, kind of, sort of. We
We
are
were
going
we
to be
were the
involved
early
now.
days.
We're going to be involved now for sure.
Oh boy. I mean, we
But
were involved in the
I just
early
wanted to say
days.
our side of the story, and everything. But how about you give you say the topic, you give out just a little bit of like who Maddie is and Leo is, who they first were and are now, and then we can get into everything.
Alrighty, so Maddie and Leo unpacking the latest service dog community drama. It's drama alert, everybody. But okay, so to start off, we used to know Maddie. We used to know them as Maddie, as Leo, the service dog. The reason why we know this is because they used to join our lives. They lied and they said that they were 25 years old. We now know that is not the truth. Um, I want to say that like our first instance with them was they originally came up and were like, "Oh, so what's a service dog? You know, what do they do? You know, like how do
No,
we train
because
it?"
I'm gonna stop you really quick. So they started coming into my live a couple years ago, about I want to say a year or two ago, and
I want to say
basically,
I want to say like late 2024.
yeah, I would say that. And my original name on here, for those of you who don't know, was Leo the Service Dog. That was my one of my OG names. Prior to another name, I've had three name changes. It was my first ever channel name on here was my legal name. I'm not going to say what it is, for security reasons. But then it got changed to Leo the Service Dog, and now it is changed to Service Dog Educator. Um, and they're the reason why I had to change my name in the first place because I was getting associated with them because we had the exact same name. They were known for being Leo the Service Dog or Leo the Mutt on TikTok prior,
Mhm.
and everything. So they started joining my lives after I was doing lives with Angel and everything else like that. They were, I think that they saw me on there and they were like, oh, they're really cool. I'm gonna be involved with them. And I didn't do too much age verifications in the beginning of my channel because I didn't know that I was needed to or required to and everything just to know the age of everybody. But they started coming in. I didn't have any issues with them. I never had an issue with them. I never fought with them. I never was mad at them. And even after I discontinued them being in my live, I still don't have any beef with them. I found out through
Blacklist.
the blacklist of them harming their dog, basically. So I knew that they were getting a lot of heat.
Well,
So
not
I
just
decided
harming
to
their
sever
dog,
it.
but also lying about like just about everything.
Well, this was before the lying. This was before the lying. Okay, so I only knew of the harming of the dog. So I stepped back and I was like, okay, I don't want them on my live if they're because they have a lot of heat on them, and maybe if I can get their side of the story and the when the heat dies down. And then I started talking to a lot of individuals who did a lot of research on this individual, and then they started telling me how they were lying about certain things and how they claimed that they were 25 with kids
With like
and
5 kids. I think she started off with
five
like saying that
kids.
she had like 6 kids, and then it
No,
went
it
to
was
5.
five.
No, no, no. I distinctly remember her saying that she had 6 kids at one point.
I only heard five.
I
But
remember her saying 6 at one point.
they were basically lying about their age, lying about how many kids they had, lying about being married and everything. And basically, this was when I decided to not have contact anymore.
Yeah, so I had heard about early on that like her dog, attacked some kids that were on her property, and you know, it just kind of after like that point, I think that was like I want to say like either November or December of 2024 that kind of came out. I want to say it was like early 2025 max. But like that came out, and that rubbed me the wrong way that she unleashed a dog onto somebody, especially like a minor, and it's like, oh,
Because
that turned
the video that I saw was them
security cam
claiming
footage, quote
I
unquote.
don't know if it was scared of camp footage. Basically, I heard somebody saying that she unleashed a dog. I watched the video, and I think it was of like their nephew or a cousin or
No,
something
that
like
was a
that.
totally
A little
different
kid.
video. No, no,
Was
no.
it?
The
I
first
just saw
incident.
the dog
No, no, no.
attacking.
Yeah, no, no, no. So this was when she said that she had a quote unquote cane corso.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then the cane corso like attacked somebody and then had to go to the vet or something like that. And just, yeah, it was like a whole
Basically,
thing.
they started snowballing in all these lies. And I had nothing to do with them at this point. I didn't associate with them. I was just hearing of these lies and everything. I stopped having them in my life, and people kept coming into my lives claiming me to be them, and saying, "Why are you doing all these lies? Why are you doing this? Blah 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 blah. This and that. Like you're a terrible person." I'm like, I'm not that individual. Like I am a completely different person. So I made the decision to change my name by that point. So I did this late 2025, 2024, early 2025 is when I changed my name and
Yeah, it was
everything.
definitely at least 2025 when you changed your name.
Yeah, it was either late 2024 or early 2025 is when I changed my name because I was tired of being associated with that individual, and I was kept getting snowballed into their lies. And then it came out that their husband claimed that they have unalived themselves. And I saw the post after Bumble reached out and said, "Hey, have you heard this?" I was like, "No." I looked it up and I saw the video and everything. And then I was like, "Man," I was like, I even said, Bumble, if you remember this, I said, "I don't think that this is true." I
Yeah,
said,
immediately.
I don't think that they've unalived themselves. I don't think it's their husband um, or anything
I'm
because
still I still laugh at the screenshot of the description of that post and how she spells the word soul, which by the way, if she is watching, Soul. Just not to rub salt in
well,
wounds, but
I have
Soul.
dyslexia. I have
No, no, no.
dyslexia,
She's
so
no, no, no. This is how she always spelled it. In any time that she tried to write out the word soul, she would spell it Soal, and it's like, honey, no, Soul, 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 Soul. That's how you spell it.
well, either way,
If you're gonna lie,
I don't like making fun of people for like
I
misspelling
know, but
words or
it's a
anything
mistake that
because
she constantly made, and I kind of laughed at it, and I was like, oh no, Maddie totally wrote this. No, she wrote that shit.
Right.
Like, and I even called it. I said, listen, I'm going to place a bet right now. She's going to come back in like a month. Like, you quote me that for that, right?
Yeah, yeah. We both said that she was gonna come back. That she was gonna say like, somebody hacked her or something on those terms, and it never happened, and blah blah blah. Then she comes back and starts stating that she was in a domestic violence relationship. Which, here's what I'll say to this. Okay, as a DV
Victim.
individual who's been a victim of DV, right, and everything. And it's hard for me to kind of like talk about this and everything, but as a victim of DV, that's number one. If you were legitimately lying, like you lied about that, despicable human being right there, first of all. But I'm not going to sit there and say that they have never been a part of DV. They could have had a boyfriend that did do DV. They could have done it to themselves. They could have had an individual do it. I don't know, right? We don't know the actual story. But here's what I will say. If because I have screenshots of recent texts that they've sent me of them saying that they are 16 as of right now. Even if, right, you would even if you were in a relationship with an individual, you couldn't marry them, right? So that wouldn't have been your husband, that would have been your boyfriend. And if you are a victim of DV, I feel sorry for you because I don't want anyone to be a victim of DV, but that's something not to joke about. And a lot of the DV survivors or victims of DV will stand with me on that because that's something not to play around with. And my thing is to answer somebody who was saying something in the comments. If we want to get into individuals standing up for her, I will say this. Okay, this is not about them. This is not about the adults. This is not about whoever standing up for her or allows her in her life. First of all, I don't agree with anyone that allows minors in their lives in general. Number one, it's against TikTok guidelines to allow minors in your live regardless if they're emancipated or not. It is against TikTok guidelines and everything, first of all. Second of all, what I will also state is, they're gonna do what they want to do. They're gonna think that they're on the right. They're gonna think that they're standing up for their friend. I would do the same thing for my friend. Bumble, I've stood up for her for a lot of things, but I also don't take shit.
But
For
I
example,
also I also don't abuse animals either.
well, here's what because we can play something on this. Here's the thing, right? Bumblehead did something about a year ago to another individual that I didn't agree with. Okay, and we're not going to name names. We're not going to say what happened or anything because we don't want bad juju. Okay, but Bumble did something that I didn't agree with. Okay, and I even told this individual, which not the person, her. I told her, you can agree with me on this, Bumble. I said, I don't agree with your actions. Do I want to defriend you? No, but I do not condone your actions, and I don't think that that was smart of you, and I think you need to leave it alone, is exactly what I told you.
Yeah.
That's what a true friend is. And my thing is, if you're an adult and you don't want to believe the proof of her abusing the dog prior or anything else like that, if you don't want to believe any of that, you're an adult, you run your channel, you do you. Nobody can stop you, right? But you can't expect people not to sit there and contact you and say, hey, you're allowing this person on your platform, which is not good, and then you get upset with them about it. It's like people are going to have their own opinion. If you can't handle other people's opinion, don't be on live. Don't be on TikTok. Here's the thing, they're crying the boo-hoo story. They're going on different accounts on other people's lives saying, oh, these people are obsessed with me and blah, blah, blah. Because you like them being obsessed with you. You like all of this attention. Because if you didn't, and you were mortified and you were upset or whatever the case is, you would get off of TikTok so you wouldn't have to deal with this. And you wouldn't be going on live talking about it in the first place. Because I'm sorry, whether or not you're emancipated, you're classified as a legal adult, I don't care. Your brain is not developed till you're 25 years old. My brain didn't develop till last year. Literally last year.
I
Right?
mean,
So
I want
I'm
to say
at the
this real
maturity
quick.
level.
I want to say this real quick. I don't even believe she's emancipated. I mean, from all evidence I have seen, she's not emancipated. I
They
never,
claimed
like,
to me that they were, and I have
yeah,
a text to prove it, that they said that they have been emancipated. To show the proof this early, but you know what? We're gonna dive deep, and we're gonna dive a little bit deep into this. Because while I just want to touch bases on like where I was coming from and everything, why I ended the like we didn't necessarily have a friendship. I knew of them, they knew of me. I had them in my life and everything, but that was basically it. It wasn't nothing like friendship wise. And everything. So again, apologies for those who are coming back in. The live ended because I exited out of the live. It was an accident.
good job.
My apologies.
Good
We're
job.
going to get back to recording here soon and talking about the last topic and everything. Like I said, previous to recording, if there's any questions, comments, or concerns about any of these topics, you're welcome to join up after we are done recording and everything. And I'll actually show some text and everything at the end. We won't show this now for the podcast because I do want to save a lot of this for another episode. But I do have text and everything to prove that they have mentioned that they were emancipated and everything, at least what they've told me. Did I believe them? No, because I don't believe anything that comes out of their mouth because they're known
Yeah,
for
again,
being a liar.
it, listen, once a liar, always a liar. And unfortunately, they have a habit of being a habitual liar.
And
So,
I've also heard
unfortunately,
that they were getting a new dog. So,
oh, I've also heard that they did get another dog, which is Chronic, and apparently they're also trying to
no, no,
get
no,
rid of
no.
Chronic now.
No, no, no. I heard that they are on the process of getting another dog.
Yeah, but they also said that they were getting rid of Chronic.
Are they? Hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
yeah,
But
I've heard that.
anyway,
Yeah, sorry,
let's
Cameron.
get back into the topic and then we can um
Yeah.
yeah, there's proof. I haven't heard of that, not saying that it's not true. I just haven't heard of that myself, but let's get back into the topic.
I heard recordings that she's looking at getting. I heard her literally talking about it on You Know Who's Live.
Yes. I believe you can send it on the DM messenger thingy, and everything. But anyways, let's get back into the podcast. And like I said, if anybody wants to come up after we end this, we can allow people to come up. We're just right now we're going to record the podcast, finish up what we're going to unpack for the last topic. We will be doing a solo episode, guys. This is going to be a solo episode done with the individual who made the original video. I don't want to give too much away. We just haven't had a date yet of when that's going to happen. But we are
But when
doing
it does happen, it will
yeah,
happen.
we are doing an exclusive interview with the individual who made the video, and we're going to be deep diving into the whole situation as soon as we're able to. But we're just going to touch on it because it's fresh right now. So, with that being said, let's get back into the podcast. Starting in 3, 2, 1. All right, so back to what we were saying before we were rudely cut off by TikTok. Basically, the whole situation with Leo, Maddie and Leo, is that they started coming to the lives. We allowed them. Once we found out the whole lie and the whole spew became a whole thing, we ended up, cutting ties with them, then hearing a bunch of things afterwards, such as like the DV situation, them unaliving themselves, then coming back and claiming that they were in a DV situation.
The police using her
And
dog as a canine officer.
yeah, everything started spewing out, and I just left it at that. And I believe, I don't know if I blocked them, but I think that I just never allowed them to come up in my platform, and I never said anything to them. And if they requested, I just like said like, no, I'm not allowing you up, and that was basically about it. It wasn't anything too deep. And then fast forward to recently, with another individual that we had on lives that we had to cut off due to accusations about them. One of the friends of Maddie reached out about the situation with another individual. And when we were talking with this individual and their friend group about another individual and the accusations against them, I don't even know how it got brought up, but we somehow it got brought up about Maddie and Leo, and they asking me if I didn't like them or something on those terms, and I said that it wasn't that I didn't like them, it's just that all the lies that have been brought up towards them, and me catching them in a bunch of lies, I just don't want that for my channel. They ended up contacting me through Discord, asking, and Maddie asking if she could have an adult conversation with me, which again, I have all the proof and the receipts of this, which I have no problem posting if anybody has an issue, if anybody doesn't believe me what I say on this. Basically, of them explaining that they were emancipated, that they are 16, that Leo was having her dog like it was for a
Be
defense. No, it was for like a defense or something, like her Leo bit somebody to protect her or something on those terms, and it came out of the court as like a defense thing. So Leo was never charged with anything. So Leo could still do service dog work, and like it went into more details on those. Onto that, and then me basically just telling them it's not that I don't like you as an individual person, I don't know who you are, but I didn't want you to come into my lives anymore due to the fact of the lies and you being in a bad light. I had to change my name because of this, and because I need to protect my platform and my channel and what I've built, I don't want to associate with you. Now, am I going around to everybody who associates with them and saying, no, don't hang out with them? No. I can tell you, and I will tell the truth in this, there is one individual that I have told to not be in that group. And again, it was a group of people of not to be involved with due to history of knowing some of those individuals that go in there have either a history of causing issues in the community, spewing misinformation, or being accused of certain things on their own. I just told the individual it would behoove them not to have anything to do with them to protect them. And this individual I'm really good friends with. We talk on a regular basis like I do with Bumble. We actually play video games outside of this and everything. And they are a young individual that, they're in their early 20s, and I don't want them to be
fall down the rabbit
in a
hole.
bad, yeah, go down a rabbit hole like I did with a bad individual and perceived out another way. And that's what I was trying to protect them from. Again, they're an adult, they can do what they want. If they want to be friends with them, they're more than welcome to. And I even told them, if you really want to be friends with them, go for it. Go be friends with them.
But
And
you
that
won't be
was
seeing
really the
us.
end of the conversation. No, I never said that. I just said I wouldn't warn them anymore about them, and I wouldn't say anything to them.
See, now, me on the other hand, I'm very much the opposite. I have been very vocal about my disliking of Maddie and Leo. I'll straight up say it. I don't like them. You're more beat around the bush kind of person. I'm of the very firm mind that, yeah, no, sorry. You have multiple chances. You've had multiple opportunities. You should have been straight up from the beginning. And I
Yeah, I don't
understand.
like saying I don't like a person when I don't know a person. It's not that I don't like them, it's just that I want to protect the platform that I have.
Yeah, and I
And
understand that, and
being
that's fine.
associated
But
with them would give me a bad light.
and that's fine. But then there's me over here who's like, listen, I really don't care what you have to say as soon as you start lying about yourself because you want to be quote unquote popular. I don't care how good of a person you are off this platform. You start sugarcoating your shit, you should be eating your own teeth. Like, but then again, that's just me. I'm a very straightforward and honest person. If you ask me questions, I'm going to give you an answer to the best of my abilities. I'm not going to sugarcoat my feelings. I'm not going to sugarcoat myself. I am who I am. You know, if you want to pull up, you know, receipts and bullshit from, you know, like 10 years ago, yeah, I said it. Like, yeah, that's me. That's what I
I just
said.
plain don't care. I don't like,
I know, but
I don't like, here's what I'm gonna say. I don't support them in their decisions, and I am not being associated with an individual that is known for harming their dog, wrongfully euthanizing their dog. Even if they didn't, not wrongfully euthanize a dog, I still don't
no,
want
they
to.
did.
If that's a claim that has been, well, here's
No, it
this is
is.
what listen to
No, no,
me.
no. No,
No,
knowing her
no, no,
dog
no, no,
and
no,
seeing
no,
her,
no, 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 no. Stop. Stop for a second. I stop for a second. Listen to what I have to say.
I'm
I
listening.
am not going to say, I'm not going to say that she did or didn't wrongfully euthanize the dog. I don't think that any dog should be euthanized for any sort of reason, regardless of what happened. When the whole euthanization of the dog that attacked my dog happened, I told the judge that I did not want that to happen because I thought it was not the dog's fault, it was the owner's fault. I will always say that. Okay? Now,
But like,
I
here's the
feel
thing. Do
bad
you
for the
remember?
dog. I feel I don't know it. We all like what I will say, guys, is we only see a snip. This is not me defending them. Okay, this is not at all me defending them. This is me putting it point blank. Period. Okay, because I don't want them in my lives. I don't think that they're a good person. I don't think any of this. Okay, what I will say is we only see what they show us, regardless on lives, regardless on video, any of that, right? Can we get more of a picture on lives? Yes, because it's happening in real time. Okay. Do I think Maddie wasn't the factor of the dog's behavior? No, I think she was the factor of the dog's behavior. I don't think that the dog had Rain syndrome. But again, I am not a trainer. I am not a professional. I have no way of evaluating that dog myself. So
But
if
hold
an
on.
individual tells me that the dog has Rain syndrome, would I take a person on live and say, oh yeah, the dog has Rain syndrome? No, I wouldn't. I would go and get professional help. And I have heard that that is what they did. Whether or not they did or not, I heard that they did, which if they did and the dog was as rightfully diagnosed, they may have had a reason of why to put the dog down. But again, I am not for that. I don't think that that's a good thing. Either way, I think they should have gave the dog to somebody else who was qualified enough to handle the behavior of the dog, regardless if they were fearful of the dog biting somebody else. They should have
May
given the
I
dog
speak
to
now?
somebody who was capable.
May I
Yes.
speak now? Okay. As somebody who has dealt with dogs with rage syndrome, because you are not a trainer, I am. As
Right.
somebody who has dealt with dogs with rage syndrome, I know the breeds, I know what the symptoms look like, I know what they do. Her dog did not have rage syndrome. Did it have behavioral problems? Yes. Were they induced by her? Yes. 100%. The dog did not have rage syndrome. So the papers that she had were fake. She said that she had a trainer diagnosis. That's no. Yeah, no, sorry. She also said that she was having chronic trained by like three like independent trainers that were like, I think like she said like were like $1,000 a pop and had an NDA or some shit. I don't know, but no, no, sorry, her dog did not have rage syndrome. Her
And
dog
I
had
agree with
behavior
one of the
problems that could have
commenters.
been fixed. Hold on, no, no, no. Her dog had behavior problems that could have been fixed if she would have given the dog to somebody else.
Agreed. And I will agree with what somebody said in the comments. After all the lies that they have made, it is hard to believe anything that they say. And I agree with that. That is why I personally do not agree with anything that they have done. I will not
However,
agree with it.
However, dogs with rage syndrome do unfortunately end up being behaviorally euthanized. And that is mostly for their safety and safety of others. Because with rage syndrome, it's not safe. It's not safe. I'm not going to get into too
Well,
much
and
detail
again,
about
I'm
it
not a
because it
trainer,
does
so
bring up
I
bad
I
memories.
can't. I'm not a dog behavioralist. I can't sit there and make these qualified decisions. And what I will say is I just personally do not agree with any dog being euthanized for behavior unless it was proven to me. Like for example, like with
But
my
again,
son's
you're
medical
not a
issue.
trainer.
If it was that's why I'm saying this is from a non-trainer's perspective. I don't believe in euthanization for any dog whatsoever. But if I was told by a trainer and by my vet that because of Leo's medical conditions or my son's medical conditions, let's even go with my son, right? His medical conditions were so severe that it would be great to put like let my son go and pass on. I would have to make that decision. Same with my dog. My dog, Leo. If he had behavioral issues that was told to me, that it would be better off if he was euthanized, I would have to make that decision. But I don't agree with it. And I don't agree with euthanizing a dog in general unless like I've been like told like it is for the benefit of the dog.
But the thing
I
is,
I
with
just
with
I
certain,
personally just don't. I think like every dog should be able to live a life to the fullest and
I know,
proven
but
otherwise. You
you
know what I
also
mean?
have to remember that there are some points where BE is actually the kinder thing to do. Like it is a complete valid thing to do. If you have a dog that has rage syndrome, there's no amount of training that you're going to be able to do that's going to fix that. That dog's not going to be
Right. No,
living
and I
to his
agree.
best, which
I
is what
agree. That's
she
why I say
was.
if it was proven to me otherwise that
I know, but the
that the
thing
loss
is,
of the dog would not be beneficial, I still would be
no,
upset
no, no, no.
about
This
it.
is a
I'd
hundred
still be like, oh,
percent.
no, 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 no.
No, no, no. This is 100%. Whenever your dog
I
is
know.
diagnosed with rage syndrome, there's no backing out from that.
I understand that and everything. That's why I said if it was the benefit for the dog, then I'm not going to, be mad at that person, and everything. And I'm not and I
But
just
again,
don't
what
think
what Maddie
that
did
that
for
dog should
did
have
to
ended up with
Leo.
that.
But the thing is that what Maddie did to Leo was unjustified. The dog did not
My
have rage
thing is,
syndrome. It had
I was gonna say,
some.
can I ask a question really quick?
Yes.
How do you know if a dog has rage? Can a dog get rage syndrome by the things that you do to the dog, or is
No.
it in the genetic of the dog?
It's in the genetics.
Okay, because that's what I was confused about what rage syndrome is. Because I've heard some people say that it was that you can cause rage syndrome into the
No.
dog or it's genetic.
No, no,
So
no.
that's
Whenever you create quote unquote rage syndrome in a dog, that's just reactivity. That's just your dog bites you. It's just like that's the whole thing. Her dog was
right.
reactive, not rage syndrome. Rage syndrome is completely different. Rage syndrome is the dog out of nowhere going after you and your family. It's not like kennel cough. It is in their DNA. It is in their brain. It's kind of like kids with autism. It's in the DNA. But yeah, again,
True.
but again,
That's all
well,
I
with
wanted to
what
ask. Because I've heard different things from different people.
yeah, no. Whenever you do at least even like a preliminary search on rage syndrome, and again, you know I've had dogs with rage syndrome. I've actually I've had people bring their dogs in. They're like, oh, my dog, he just randomly lashes out sometimes. I don't know what we're doing wrong. And I go and I look at this dog, and we're sitting down for like 20 minutes, and suddenly this dog comes over and like tries to bite my throat out. It's like, that's not normal behavior. Like
Right.
this is not normal dog behavior. Like the dog knows me, and the dog is suddenly lunging at my throat. That's something that your vet has to diagnose. It's not something I as a trainer
I was
can
gonna
can
say,
can
is it the vet or
diagnose.
the trainer? Because some people are saying it's not the trainer who diagnosed; it's a vet that does.
Yeah, it's a combination of the two. I want to say it can be two, but yeah, no, her dog was reactive because of the stuff that she was doing to it. Kicking the dog, punching the dog, lifting the dog up by its hind legs, popping the chain constantly.
Snapping it. Yeah, I was gonna
you
say
know,
snapping a collar. I've seen multiple videos of
yeah,
her doing that, and I
and
didn't.
on top
But
of that, encouraging the behavior by getting a bite sleeve. Like, all of the things that
and,
she
and,
was doing
and, and
was encouraging the behavior and giving into it and was feeding it and nurturing it. And then she turned around and went, "Oh, my dog has rage syndrome," even though she went from saying, "My dog is reactive," to then finding out what rage syndrome is. I mean, again, it's just like her other issues that she has, claiming that she has seizures after hearing somebody explain how their seizures work.
we're gonna put a pin in that one. We're gonna
Yeah,
pin
I
in
know.
that one.
But I'm just saying she has a habit of
We
going,
cannot. We can. I'm
"Ooh,
going to.
shiny new
Hang on.
toy."
Hang on, hang
I
on.
know.
I'm going to just disclaim this for the YouTube video and everything. We cannot state that they are faking or whatever medical issues they have claimed to have. We are not medical professionals that cannot diagnose nor or know that they're if they are undiagnosed or not. They could have these conditions and having a different symptom like a lot of other people do. So I want to disclaim that and
I know.
everything because I do not want people to think that we are mitigate
Bashing.
or basically yeah, bashing them for their disability or claiming that they don't have a disability or whatever the case is. And there have been, errors to what I've seen of the individual disabilities. But like I said, a lot of people have, different symptoms to their disability and blah, 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 this. So I don't want to put it out there that we are sitting here bashing them, saying that they don't have these disabilities, because that is not what I want this video to turn into. And again, we
Agreed.
will get into that in a later video.
But yeah, I just, I was, as I was saying, they have the tendency to go, "Ooh, shiny new toy," or "Ooh, clicky clicky topic," and then suddenly that's their whole persona.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's what they did with rage syndrome.
Yeah. And the thing is what I will state is that I hope Maddie and Leo, honestly, like if I could give them advice and if they would listen to this, I would ask them just to get off the internet, because if you cannot see the damage that you have already caused by the lies that you have spread, because I'm going to be honest on this part, you're not a very good liar. An individual who can lie understands how to lie. You don't know how to lie because your story changes like this.
It,
That's a person that doesn't know how to lie. And I have lived with liars my entire life. Like I said, I am a DV victim. I know what a liar does and how they can lie and everything. And I will say this, as an advice, just get off the internet and everything. And I really would like, this whole, like I said, we're going to be doing a whole other video on this topic with another individual that was more involved in it, that's done more research on it, involved, because while we have a little bit of a part in this story, not as big as some individuals do, I just wanted to give this fresh topic out there for individuals and talk a little bit about what has been said to us and everything else like that. And you're more than welcome to join us when we do have that podcast, but we are going to have to end the podcast for tonight. We're going a little bit deep. So if you want to join up after this, you're more than welcome to, and everything. But that is it for today's episode of the Beyond the Leash podcast. Thank you, everyone who has hanged out with us and learning more about the amazing world of service dogs. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to follow, share, and leave a quick comment. It really does help to reach more dog lovers. And until next time, stay positive, keep those tails wagging, and give your pup an extra treat from us. And we will see you guys next Sunday with another podcast. Make sure you guys go ahead and support us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, called Beyond the Leash, Beyond the Leash podcast. Sorry,
podcast.
ugh, that's what I said. All of our channels will be linked in the description below for your to go and follow. And I will see you guys very, very soon with another podcast. Okay,
All right.
there we go. So
Do we
this is
want
the
to
end of the
allow guests
podcast now.
up?
This is the end. We can allow guests up. I'm just gonna change. I need to change the background So that way people
I need to make you something that says more fun. That's like,
do something
post.
really quick right now.
Hold on, I'll make
Make
something real
something
quick. Hold
really
on.
quick. So that way it doesn't end the live. We appreciate all people who support the podcast, whether we do videos about you or not. If you know, it doesn't matter. And I also want to disclaim as well, if you are any of Maddie's friends or you're Maddie in general, we are not making this video to be mean to you in any sort of way. We're not here to spread any lies about you or disclaim you in any sort of way. Um, it's more or less of, we want I personally want the best thing for you, which is maybe getting off the platform in general, because every time I see something about you, you're bringing up another lie about something, and just come clean. Tell the damn truth. Like, if you're caught in a lie, just be truthful, damn it. Like, damn. I don't know. I'm like Bumble says, she likes to claim that I'm a beat around the bush type of person, but it's not a beat around the bush. I like to try and come at it from a different angle, because I want to see everybody's perspective of things and everything. But I'm the nicer one out of me and her, I will say.
I'm not. I'm not nice. Listen, there's a reason why I had a blacklist post on me that said that I'm mean, quote unquote. Yeah, I am mean.
Okay,
I
got
fully
it.
embrace that. I'm not a nice person. You fuck around, you find out. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, not sorry, I guess.
Okay,
After
I got it.
hours. Like, I can fully embrace that, like, I am not always a quote unquote nice individual. Like, if you're stupid, I'll call you stupid. 'Cause there's an awful lot of people who, without brains, that do an awful lot of talking. So, I mean, that's just me, though. That's just me. But, I mean, again, educator, you've known me for what, like going on 4 years now. Like, that, like, I'm not always an asshole. I'm just an asshole if provoked.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Should
it's
we go
just,
this
yeah.
way? Which way should we do this, guys? Because I want to be able to get more people up here.
Oh, you know who might actually be here? I mean, just like what educator said, just be truthful, honey. If it's you, it's you.
I'm not gonna. We can't claim somebody's somebody. At the end of the day, we don't know.
Hi, Zelda.
And there we go. Perfect.
Yeah, unfortunately, hearts. I think that they're past the point of redemption. I think that they've fully passed up the point of redemption of any sort. At least anything meaningful.
They're coming in. You're involved now. I don't really
Aw.
care.
I don't really care.
I didn't
Maddie's a
say
bad person,
anything.
and you're a
I
bad
didn't
person
say
if you
any.
encourage
Hang
it.
on, hang on. I did not say anything bad. I said my truth, which was they did come up into my channel a long time ago and everything. That I did discontinue being friends with them due to the ongoing drama that they were in. I didn't stop being like I didn't say anything bad. I stopped being friends with them. I discontinued the friendship. This is all what I heard, and I stopped being friends with them. They reached out to me and said things to me, and people wanted to see the screenshots of what they said about the emancipation. I have that. I'm not going to lie. I never said anything bad about it. I even said when Bumble said, you normally don't say anything bad about anybody. Yeah, I don't. I have. So here's what I will say. I don't have anything against Maddie and Leo and everything because they have not done anything to me personally. Okay, but I do not agree with anything that they have done nor said, and I don't believe anything that they have done nor said.
See, I'm of the firm belief, like they're not. I'm not somebody that's going to hang around them. They've proven to be a bad person to me, and so therefore I'm not going to associate with that. And again, that's coming from somebody who's an adult. And for those who are listening, and especially the people who hang around her, if you're on the outside of this live and you are simply just listening in, like we know you are, hi, you're bad people too for encouraging it.
I don't want to. I don't like saying
Well, no,
that.
that's coming from me. That's coming from me, not you. Coming from
I
me,
know, but I
Bumblebee.
don't. But it's on my live, and I don't like saying that to people because here's
And
the
that's
thing.
fine. You don't have to say it. I'll say it.
You can. Okay, yeah,
I
you can
don't
say
like
it,
the
but
encouragement that those adults are
hang,
doing to her.
hang on. I don't like saying other people are bad people for their decisions and their choices. At the end of the day, they're adults and they can make their own decisions,
I
like
know,
all of
but
us
this is
do on
having to
here.
involve a
No, no, no,
minor.
no, 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 no. Shush, 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 shush. At the end of the day, they're adults. They can make their own decisions. Okay. Now, what I will say is that I just don't think it's okay for other individuals to defend or support another individual that has been. And I personally wouldn't do it. I don't defend or support anyone that has been accused of. How do I
Animal
say this
abuse.
without abuse or the children thing. That's what I'm going to read between the lines of. If you're accused of anything that deals with children, I do not support that, and I will not defend you, and I will not associate with you. If you are known as a rapist, I will not defend or support you. Not the victim of DV, but the person that does DV. If you are being claimed of that, I do not support, nor will I defend you. But again, that's me. You can do your own thing and everything. And here's what I will say. A lot of people that do associate with them, I've heard some people say that they are stepping back from a lot of those individuals so that way they can gather their own evidence and make their own decisions. We all need to do that as people. Now, just because Bumble says something that they've done research on, even if it is true, that doesn't mean you can't do your own research. I say that every day in my lives. Where if you don't believe me with what I'm saying from the ADA is fact, you can do your own research. Do your own research, make your own decisions on who you want to hang out with and who you don't want to hang out with. You are an adult. You make your own decisions, but understand that your decisions have consequences. Whether or not you're an adult that allows 16 and kids under the age of 18 on your platform and you're defending these individuals, if that's your decision, you have to be man enough to deal with the consequences. That's all I will say on that aspect. Okay?
I'm of the firm mind that it's really weird that people over the age of 18 are defending a 16-year-old that has done pretty terrible things. And not on top of that, it's just a weird situation overall. It's genuinely really
it's
weird.
it's weird and everything. And here's the thing is what I'm gonna say is because I have defended minors not on channels that I've never known, but in real life. Again, that's family members though, so that's a little bit different. But if I don't know an individual too well, I'm not going to defend an individual because unless I know that they didn't do anything wrong. For example, Bumble. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. When the whole incident of you happened with the other individual that we talked about on the podcast, not the name, but you know what I'm talking about. I defended you to a certain extent. I said that I didn't agree with what you were saying, and I don't agree with what you're saying, but the way that you're coming after them was not okay. Did I
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. But
And
that's
that's what
that's
I told
completely different.
everybody as
But
well.
the thing is that's completely different. This is some weird shit. Like this is some genuinely weird shit. Like and again, you can think what you want to think. That's fine, and I get it. But at the same time, I'm just and again, I don't sugarcoat my feelings. I don't sugarcoat my feelings for nobody because being fed sugar can kill someone. So I don't do it. Yeah, sorry. It's really weird that these adults are hanging out with Maddie, you know, potentially influencing her to do bad things, encouraging her behavior, encouraging, the what's going on with her, sticking by her even though lie after lie after lie has been, proven, I just it rubs me the wrong way, and unfortunately, I'm just of the very firm mind that like this is weird. It's weird. It's genuinely
Also,
weird.
just to let everybody know, if you are wanting to join, you're more than
You
welcome
can
to join.
join.
It's 18 plus in boxes. This is not a regular scheduled live where I do education. This is just us having a chat on live.
It's the it's
What
the
I will, hang
after
on. These are the rules
hours.
for being in boxes. These are the rules for being in a box. You have to be 18 years or older. You can stay on the top. You can just have, we're just having an amicable conversation. If you're coming up here to fight, argue, or anything like that, and I'm not meaning like argue, like hey, baby, like stating your case if you're friends with them or not, whatever. This is just basically us having a open conversation about everything and everything. And anyone can come up as long as they're 18. But when people start being rude to one another, saying slurs or being disrespectful, to where like you're like saying, "Oh, you're not really disabled" or something like that is really bad, then we will be deboxing people. Okay,
We'll
so
go
as
to
long as
what,
you come
20?
up, huh?
We'll go to what, like 20 if nobody joins?
Probably.
Okay.
We're just up here having conversations, having amicable conversations. If you would like to join, you're more than welcome to, as long as you're 18 and everything. You're more than welcome to join. You could state your case, you can show evidence, you could say what you want, and everything.
Yep. But yeah, this is the after hours.
Okay, and to listen to the podcast. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. You're a little late, but appreciate it either
No, no,
way.
no, they were in here. They were in here prior.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it is what it
But people
is.
are welcome to join a box and and state their evidence if they want to, say what they want to say, or just come up and hang out and have a conversation. Yeah, you're welcome to come up and say whatever you'd like, as long as it doesn't
Violate
go over the
TikTok
top.
TOS and it doesn't cause war.
Yeah.
Um, Hearts. No one's saying that you're Maddie anymore. Can you drop it? Thank you.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Cameron on this one though. Sorry, Lexi. Hearts. I'm gonna give you a really hard truth. You're probably not gonna get that apology. That's a really 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 big thing that sometimes as an adult you have to learn that
who needs
sometimes
to
people
apologize for what?
they were being accused of being Maddie, and it's like, okay, you know what, we get it, but at the same time you're going to have to learn that you're not always going to get an apology. Okay.
I don't understand what the apology is about for though,
that they
because if
were that
you
they were being
hang on,
accused
hang
of
on, hang
being
on.
Maddie. I don't
Yes,
even
I
fucking know.
understand that. Let me say it. What the apology is for though, because here's the thing. You wanted to say that you were not Maddie. You said that you were not Maddie. You changed your profile picture to prove that you were not Maddie. That's the end of the whole thing. You don't need an apology for something, because if your profile picture is one thing and you don't have an actual name on there, then you have to understand that some of us are going to be like, oh, they might be, this individual, because that's what people do. What's up, Zelda?
Not much.
And Lex, what I'm going to tell you is You be friends with who you want to be friends with. You don't want to be in the drama, fine. Like, just disassociate yourself with them. Do what you got to do. Like, I'm not gonna accuse you of being involved with it. I'm not gonna block you just because you may follow Maddie, or you may be friends with Chronic and smoking, or whoever the fuck it is, right? And everything. It's none of my business. You're a grown ass adult who's gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do. You be friends with whoever you want to be friends with. Like I said, if you want to be friends with individuals that are known in the community, that are known all this stuff, that are causing issues, that are causing drama and beef, like I said, some of those individuals that you do hang out with, they do cause issues in the community some of the times, and you just have to be man enough to deal with your decision, which means, Lex, unfortunately, you will be brought up into a lot of things, such as you will be said, some people will say that you're encouraging their behavior, you're still friends with them, even though this, and this, even though if you don't want to be involved with the drama. My advice to you is, if you don't want to be involved with the drama,
Cut
tell
them out.
them, cut them out, say, hey, I can't be involved with this drama, it's causing too much to everything. Yeah, and
Like,
I actually heard you say that. I heard you say that in a live where you were taking space. And I applaud you for that. My thing is if you don't want to be on there, and everything, if you don't want to be involved with the drama, just cut them off and just say, hey, I can't do this, and I'm not here coming at you. Now, I don't agree with anyone coming at anybody just because they want to be friends with an individual. You know what I mean? Like, it's their own rights to being involved with another individual if they want to.
Astro, to answer your
What do you?
question, what's y'all's opinions on generative AI? It
I
has
don't
its
follow them.
moments. It
I
has
my
its moments.
profile pictures are AI. Because
I mean,
the
it,
only
it has
reason
it.
why
It has its
hang on,
moments.
the only reason why I have a lot of generated AI pictures is because I cannot draw or create certain thumbnails for shit.
Nor
So a
do you
lot
have
of
the money to do that.
that too. So that's why I use a lot of AI. I
And you
need to
know
make
what?
some time
And
for people, and my personal life is hell right now. Yeah, Lexi, I hope you figure everything out. And I sincerely apologize for anything that is going on in your personal life that is causing you issues, because I don't wish that upon anybody. And I hope everything works out in the right way, and you make the decision that makes you feel good in your heart. Whether or not you stay friends with them or you discontinue them, that is, again, you're a grown ass adult that can make their own decisions. And what I will say for right now, guys, those are who are listening to this live or in this comment section, that's all we need to start saying to people. They are adults, they can make their own decisions. If you don't want to associate with that person, then don't associate with the people who associate with them. Just simply say, hey, I don't want to associate with you if you associate them. But I will tell you this, my mother taught me this at a very young age. For example, Bumblebee, right? Just because Bumblebee may be friends with somebody else does not mean, and if I don't like that individual, it doesn't mean they still can't be friends. Okay? You're going to have friends with people who you may not like or may not want to associate with. As long as they respect your boundaries of not having that individual be brought in to certain things, it is what it is. You know? And that's what I'm going to. That's
now
what I'm going
that's
to
a
do.
comment. Now that's a comment. It was peaceful for 2 weeks. Now I'm back for beef. Like the Arby's commercials. Where's the beef?
Wait a minute. Who said that?
Uh, uh, Sierra.
Where was that? I want to see that.
It was
Where's
literally
that?
like the last one that they did. Sierra said, I did. It was a peaceful 2 weeks, and now
Oh,
I'm
now I
back
get
for
it.
beef.
I got it now. I see it now. That's amazing.
Listen, listen, listen. Like the Arby's commercials. Where's the beef? Yeah, I just,
Oh,
uh,
cold, cold, cold. Guys, we do got boxes available if you want to join up. You're more than welcome to. 18 plus in boxes. We're just having a conversation, hanging out, chilling. We're talking about the newest drama. We're talking about everything. We can talk about anything, guys. anything that deals with service dog related, anything that doesn't deal with service dogs. Let's just have a conversation. Let's just do an after hours chill out. You know, if you guys want to talk about any drama, come up here and let's have a combo. Because y'all know I don't talk about drama on my main channel usually all the time. I try to stay away from the drama because I'm tired of people coming in and bringing in drama and bullshit. But sometimes you gotta be involved. Sometimes you gotta sprinkle a little bit in there.
Unfortunately, sometimes you are unintentionally involved.
But here's the reality though, is guys, drama sells.
That's true. That's true. Drama
So
do sell.
drama
It's
sells.
sad. It's sad, but true. Listen, that's why well, not the reason why I'm posting a lot of videos now. I do personally, believe in whatever I post on my page, but it gains traction.
Oh, I have something good to tell you guys.
What's the
What's that?
good news?
So Zelda usually does FMP, but I needed it like out toward the car. So I told her to find the car and she actually found it.
Yippee!
Got distracted by some snow first though.
Oh, of course. Of course. Gotta smell the sky water.
I live in the
She
Midwest and
eats
we
it.
have no snow still. Like we had the snow, like I showed you guys a video like in November. We've had barely any snow since then. And it's in almost towards the middle of January.
You know what's really
So
funny? It's just cold
it's cold here
where I
too.
am. I'm in Texas. It's just cold. But then again, we're also
Shut up,
preparing for
heat wave.
Snowmageddon.
No. Shut up, heat wave.
Hold on. But hold
My
on.
mother-in-law
We
lives in
are
Texas. I'd rather be down there in damn shorts and t-shirts.
okay, but this is the kind of bitter cold that like makes your bones hurt.
Again, you live. My cold and your cold are two different things because I'm a Midwestern. We sit here and we're out in the in weather. Our weather right now. We're out there in t-shirts and shorts.
Oh yeah, well you know what? As soon as you get down here, you can complain about how hot it gets, okay?
We're built differently, man. We got the
See, it'll
gorilla.
be like 110 degrees down here and people will be like, "Oh, this is fine."
I would love that.
No, you wouldn't.
I
Not the
like being
Texas.
warm.
Hold on, Zelda. Not the Texas suffocating heat. Okay, because you want to know what that is. There's a difference between humid hot and dry hot.
Oh,
Dry
hang on.
hot makes you feel
People
like
wanted to see the message. Hang on, I forgot. Let me
dry. Okay,
show
so
them.
dry hot makes you feel like you want to peel your skin off.
Oh, I
Okay,
can do
there's
that.
nothing. There's nothing you can do for that dry hot.
Okay, pause really quick. So, we took out the name of the individual who they were messaging on, but this is what they messaged me as of the beginning of December. Hey, it's Maddie. So I'm 16, emancipated. In that video of Leo biting someone, he was biting a friend of mine. I posted it because my dad kept trying to come after me, and I wanted him to be scared to show up, and that's really the only way I know I was in the wrong about lying about my age. I take full accountability for my actions. With that being said, Leo only ever gotten one live bite when he was still working on my dad because it was self-defense. It wasn't put on his record, so he's able to continue. Unfortunately, Leo will stop eating if he is not working as a service dog. So when he stops reacting, he goes in for a bite and then removes. Hope this helps. Can't have this put out because of my parents. I have a cease and desist on me, so I can only tell people privately about some things. If you have more questions, you're welcome to text me. Trying to be completely open and honest. Then they say their birth name. It gives them panic attacks, so they still go by Maddie. Have a great night, is what they basically told me. So that was the message that they sent me. There's a little bit more into it, and everything. Just basically, just me messaging them back, basically stating what I stated in the podcast about me. It's not that I don't like them as an individual; it's the fact that they have too much heat on them, and I didn't want to associate with them because of that reasoning, and all of that. But they told me that they were emancipated and they were 16. So I don't know about y'all. I don't know if that's true or not.
It's
I
probably
can't prove
not.
it's not. It's probably not. I don't know if it is, but that's what they told me is that they were emancipated. But I've also been hearing that they live with their grandmother, and if they're like, my question is if you're emancipated, like you could live with your grandmother, but I heard somebody say that she has guardianship over her. So I don't know.
Which would make more sense.
But again, that's not emancipation.
Oh, Alabama coast heat. Ooh. Ooh, yeah, you get wet and dry. But to go back to what I was saying, Zelda, okay. Dry heat makes you want to peel your skin off to escape it. Listen, yeah, there's probably no court record for it. We haven't seen
Like
no
I
court
said,
record for
that's
it.
just what they told me. They said that they were 16 and they are emancipated. So, like I said, I
Get
don't
out of my
believe that
face.
that's true. I don't think that it is that true. But like I said, y'all read it there first. That was them saying, "Hey, it's Maddie." Um, that they're emancipated. So, like I said, whether or not I don't believe it's true, but I don't know.
Again, a leopard never changes its spots. So again, it's just lies, 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 lies. So it just is what it is.
I don't
She's
know.
never gonna. Again, my best advice to her is going to be, girl, just stop.
Let's just get
Delete
off.
your channel. Don't come back. You're doing too much. You just want attention. Therapy will help you. By God, therapy will help you. You need it. Go to it.
I feel more bad for the animals and the care though,
I
because
feel bad for the
hang
animal
on,
and
hang
for her
on, hang on, hang
grandmother.
on, hang on, hang on. I want to say this really quick. I feel bad for the animals in care, and there was an individual that went up on their live and said that if they were really that concerned, why hasn't somebody called animal control? Then they sat there and said that people have called animal control and they've shown up, and they didn't take anything away because the animals are sheltered and food and not abused and blah blah blah, this and this and this, which you know. I don't know. I'm not in the household. I don't know what's going on with the animals. All I can say is I don't like the way that you treat your animals on live. I don't like the way you treat your animals on videos. I would call that abuse and
Yeah,
everything.
I'll also agree with JJ. Animal control is not always helpful. Sometimes they'll just sit there and go, "Oh yeah, well the dog obviously has like a place to like eat and like drink and like get out of the sun. It's fine." Like I'm not even joking. I literally had to fight with my local animal control officers because there was somebody that was keeping a dog on their patio 24/7, 365. And this was at my last one of my first apartments. The dog was never inside. It was during that time, during the summertime, it was usually like 100 degrees to 110 degrees outside daily. This dog had barely any water, was literally skin and on bone. And, I called animal control because this dog would be barking until like three, like 5, 6 in the morning. Like it would start and it would be like all day. And and again, I called animal control because I was worried about this dog because I also never walked the dog. So there was also a ton of dog poop on their balcony and dog pee. Like it was so bad that like during the summertime, like we had flies everywhere. Like it was literally a horde of flies because of this dog. And all animal control said was, make sure you give the dog food and water and clean up after it. Nothing we can do. I've never been more proud of the person that stole that dog off that porch. I watched it happen. I said nothing. That dog deserved better. Like, I'm
Yes.
not even joking. Like, I literally watched somebody take that dog off that porch, and I'm just like,
Well, And like
Oh
I
well.
said, like, does animal control do everything? No, I don't think animal control is the end all be all, does everything, blah 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 blah, right? So I I don't think, are they not an abuser because animal control didn't do anything? No. I would agree with you that they should get off of TikTok. They should get off of the platform in general and just
Permanently.
permanently and just wait until
Focus
they're
on themselves.
18 or wait until they're 25. Sorry, wait until you're 25 and get some damn therapy because a person who lies that much on
Has a problem.
TikTok has an issue.
They got problems. And not just small ones that you can fix, big one. I'm talking like combination therapy medication stuff. Because, like, I'll admit this. When I was 16 years old, this is going to be something in my past, but this is because I was also sexually exploited as a kid. So, I used to act out very similarly. I used to want attention from everybody. I created catfish accounts on adult websites. I catfish people.
You really? No.
Really? Oh my god, Bumblebee,
Who
how
would have
dare you?
thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? But no, trust me, this path that she's going down right now does not end well. It never does. And unfortunately, it needs therapy. It's a path that requires medications. It is a path that requires a support network. It is a path that requires unplugging. And you know what's really funny? I didn't get my phone back until I was 18 years old. I didn't have internet access until I turned 18. And you know
So,
what? I'm doing better now because of it.
and here's also a thing, right? Is what I'm. Hang on, I lost it. Never mind.
Bah,
I do that shit all the damn time. Ah, I hate that. What was I gonna say?
the train derailed.
ADHD is a bitch.
That it is. That it is. Preach. Holy shit.
God
Preach.
damn it!
You know what's really
You have a
funny?
train of thought and then you lose it.
You know what's really funny is I actually had a moment today where my brain just kind of left my body for like all of like 5 minutes. Like this customer walked up to me and was like, "Hey, where's this item?" And I just went blue screen. Like straight up blue screened in real time. My brain went eek. Like it's like, where am I? Hold on a minute. I need to figure out who I am real quick. Like I
By the
completely
way,
forgot where I
boxes are available
was.
if you want to join a box. You're more than welcome to. You just got to be 18 plus.
Like my brain literally went, where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Where what day is it? What month is it? What year is it? What timeline am I in? Like my brain literally went, who? It
Oh,
went,
my train's
huh?
back. My train's back. I got it. I got
Yes,
it.
the
Okay.
train. The
I
train.
knew it was coming back.
The squirrel
What
found
I
the
wanted
nut.
to say is that I know that there will most likely now either be a video or a live about me or Bumble,
Oh,
or
for
both of
sure.
us talking about the situation and everything. And just all I gotta say is make sure that you say it correctly, please. And state what I was exactly stating and everything. Because here's the thing, Bumble. Bumble says what she wants to say. I am not in control of what Bumble says. She is my best friend, and I don't disagree with anything that she said. Uh, but I did want it to preference and word it differently, so people didn't seem like we were coming after or disclaiming things that we can't prove, such as medical issues. Any medical history we cannot prove. Whether or not they do have seizures, we cannot prove that they do not. We can make speculations. We could assume. We could say that this is not how somebody would act. Blah blah blah. We can say all that kind of stuff, but we can't definitively say that they don't have it unless we're in a court of law, right? Also, same with any other disability that they have and all of that. So that's what I wanted to state as well. Just make sure if you're going to talk about me correctly. There is a person that wants up. Let's see. We'll allow them up. I don't know this individual, but we'll allow them up. So we will need an age
But
verification.
also,
Oh, they left.
if you're gonna make a video about me or talk about me, at least be honest about it.
Oh, stop it, Leo.
Wait, let me make
wait,
this.
we're here.
Oh.
Hello, can I have a quick age verification?
19.
Okay.
Nigger, you're don't.
Yeah, I figured.
Figured.
Fucking figured. And you know what? You get the boot tonight. You get the whole boot. But here's what I'm gonna say about this. If you're gonna make a video on me, I said what I said. I'm not afraid of what I said. You're all feeding sugar to people when you should be eating your own teeth.
See,
I said what I
all
said.
I said was what I could prove, which
Yeah.
I did
I
prove
mean,
that she told me she was emancipated.
Yeah, and again,
There's a reason why I say what I say for a reason. I could prove it in a court of law, and you can't tell me to cease and desist something when I can prove it in a court of law that you said that.
See, and then there's me over here who's just like, I just don't give a shit. I don't want to be friends with Maddie. Maddie's not a good person.
Have you seen? No, I have not.
I don't know what you're talking about. But,
I'm thinking about deleting my TikTok. Lex, you're an adult. Please do what you want to do. And everything. Please, I would say like you're an adult. You can do what you want to do. I don't think that this should.
Hold on. If you
make
think
that
deleting
decision.
your TikTok is going to be better for your mental health, do it. That's all I'm gonna say. If you think deleting your TikTok is in your best interest, if you think mentally it is in your best interest, do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, I heard about that too. Yeah, sorry. As somebody who's also part of the YT community, mind you, my genetics are about as Heinz 57 as they get. Yeah, no, sorry.
As an individual who has, like, here's what I will say.
The complexion of A1 paper.
Hang on. I don't even think people of mix or of that color should be saying those words, but I'm not going to stop an individual from doing that. I'm not going to stop a white individual from saying that. I don't think it's right either way. I think that saying those types of words in general are just
perpetuate.
Yeah.
So, as my brother would say, mind you, my little brother is mixed. He is YT and he is African American. He does not use that word because in his words, it perpetuates the normality of using said words in everyday language.
Right.
That's just what he says. I mean, for those who know my family, an educator, you know my family, you've seen my brother. I've showed you pictures of my family. My family is a mixed bunch of nuts.
I've
We
also
got
met your
pecans.
family, so
Listen, we got pecans, we got raisins, we got pistachio nuts, we got what else? Other kind of nuts? Macadamia nuts.
nuts.
We got peanuts. Listen, my whole family, we're all adopted. My whole family is mixed races. My dad's Hungarian, my mom's Irish. I'm Heinz 57. My half sister's Heinz 57, but mostly we present as YT. My sister is Hispanic. My other brother was Hispanic. Sadly, he passed away. Rest in peace. And then my other little brother is African American. So we're all a Heinz 57 family. But even my brother.
Can we also just preference really quick as well that you're adopted and so are your other siblings?
I did say that. Did I not?
I didn't know if you said that or not because I don't want people to be like,
Peyton, am I going insane? Did I say that?
Listen, I just got here. I did not hear you say it in the time that I've been here, though.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. Disclaimer. We're all adopted in my family. My parents are as white as sheet as papers, okay? Listen. But my brother does, and so did my other little brother before he passed away. they both agreed that no matter who you are, what race you identify, whatever you're made up of, perpetuating those racist words makes it more okay when we should be saying the opposite.
Can I ask what we are?
I just wanted to, make it clear that they were adopted, that no one was, taking, like, being like, man, like,
I thought I
my whole
did. I
mom
thought
is.
I said I was adopted. I thought I said we all were adopted. Oh my god. I must be going
I
insane.
just wanted to make sure it was said, okay?
Listen, Kaiten, you know what's really funny? I had a blue screen moment this afternoon. I didn't even remember what my name was.
Oh, I understand how that feels. I do that sometimes.
I
Mostly
forgot.
when people ask me questions.
Listen, I forgot what day it was, what year it was, what time it was, where I was, who I was, everything. I knew nothing for like a good 30 seconds, and I panicked and freaked out. And then I was like, oh wait, no, I remember where I'm at.
I mean, I had a blue screen moment last time we met up.
Hey, blue screen moments.
You caused that, though.
Yeah! Hit him with it. Hit him with the blue screen. Oh. Listen, the fact that your friend didn't see that, though, that was hilarious. Fart! It's a cat noodle. It's a stinky cat rat noodle man.
Zelda's mad.
That's
I
a
have
noodle.
question.
I might have an answer.
Why were we discussing that, by the way?
Oh,
About not
because
perpetuating?
of Leo and Maddie.
Oh, I've
Other stinky cat
got
rat.
plenty of tea on them. I've got
Oh yeah,
plenty
no, we know.
of tea. Because I knew them personally.
That's another stinky cat rat.
It is.
Listen, okay. I know. Okay, you want to know a fun fact, Zelda? And I don't know if you know this or not, but if anybody doesn't know this fact, this is a fun fact. Did you know that ferrets are technically related to skunks?
Yes.
Yes.
Damn it! I thought that was gonna be fun.
Oh, B, you want to know another
Wow,
interesting
I
fact,
didn't.
by
I
the
thought you were
way?
gonna say B. Wow, I didn't actually know that. Wow, thank you for telling me.
Oh, sorry.
Ego boost,
Wow,
ego boost,
B,
ego
I
boost.
didn't know that. Thank you for telling me.
Now it's too late. Now it's too late. You can't clap after the joke.
By the way, do you want to know an interesting fact, B?
What is interesting fact? I love interesting fact.
I knew who Maddie was before I met you.
Oh joy.
Yeah. I met Maddie about 3 weeks before I met you.
Yippee. Yeah, we've known about Maddie's existence for going on a year now. Or no, 2 years. 2 years. Because she joined.
I was still pregnant
I
when
would
I
say
met Maddie.
it's been since 2023. It's been because I started going live about 2022. Because I started my account in 2020.
It was
Hang on.
early 2024, late 2023. We definitely knew about her in July. Because I remember.
Dude. Shush. Jesus. Anyway, I started going live in 2022. I would say that they came into the lives a year after I started going live, around 2023, 2024. It was approximately around there. So we've known about the Maddie, the individual, for about like 2 to 3 years. Thank you.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
I've been thinking about getting ferrets.
I was on the phone with Maddie
when
when I had my first POTS flare up. Interesting factoid for you there.
And he says I have too many animals, and I don't think I have too many animals, guys. I only have okay. So if we count the entire household, we have 3 dogs in the household and 4 cats, 1 lizard in the household. So I think ferrets would be great.
What about human children?
No.
Remember, humans count as pets too.
Well,
To a degree.
if we count my niece who lives here part-time, we have 3 kids in the household. Right
Here.
now, we have 4 kids in the household because she has a friend over.
Can you make me big for like 2 seconds? I want to show
No.
something. I'm really proud of this.
No.
Is it your smile
Yeah, look at
with
him.
our son?
Look at him. He's so happy now.
Him's a big dude.
He's a big dude now. Listen, okay, so here's what happened. I got a new light, by the way, and I got a new heater. So now my snail extra happy. That's why he have the long.
Okay. What? I think we're gonna go until 50, and then we'll end the
So
live.
how was y'all's how was the thingamajig tonight?
Podcast pretty good.
Pretty good. We had a lot more people come in towards the end because we were talking about the Maddie situation, which I kind of figured would happen.
Listen, we had a lot of people joining in before the live decided to just randomly go, what?
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's the Real Service Dog podcast, guys.
And the funny thing is, we'll do a whole episode of the Maddie situation when we can get the other individual.
Are we going to mention about their other channel or no?
Who?
Maddie's other channel. Nudge, nudge. You know which one I'm talking about.
The podcast?
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
I don't really want to promote it. All right, Zelda, have a great night.
Night, Zelda. Yeah, like, it's so funny.
And the thing is, they've been, can I talk?
No. So, while Maddie's talking to you really quick, I'll say this really quick, is that I heard about the podcast, and Bumble was telling me how Bumble always does, how they're upset because they feel like it's kind of like a knockoff version of us. Here's what I will say. Just because me and Bumble have a podcast called Beyond the Leash Podcast where we talk about service dogs, we don't have the credit of only talking about service dog topics. There have been plenty of other podcasts or lives or channels that talk about service dogs in general, or educating or advocating about service dogs in general. So we don't own that, right? Now, if they were having a similar, the exact same name title and how they present their lives and doing exact same topics as us, then that would be a different story.
I'm more talking about timing, the way that they are branding themselves, as well as how they have set up the channel specifically.
Yeah,
it's have a lot more parallels to Beyond the Leash than
I would agree.
Should.
Yeah, that's why I got upset about it. I was like, hold on a minute. There's no way. There's no way they're doing a Temu knockoff.
Can I ask a question, please?
We might have an answer.
Because I feel like I've been living under a rock since I got, like, really sick. Can somebody explain to me what I missed with the Maddie and Leo situation?
Oh, she put her dog down.
Leo is gone.
Okay, she put her dog down. She quote unquote behaviorally euthanized Leo.
Yeah.
Because he apparently had rage syndrome. No.
Well, I remember her saying that, but like there was a private chat between me and I think 4 or 5 other service dog handlers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
where the story kept changing.
Sierra, hang on really quick. There is a whole 30-minute YouTube video about the whole situation. If you're not aware, you can go check out the YouTube video.
And I'll link it to you.
We'll link it to you so you can get more information about it. I would encourage you to watch it.
I've watched Oswin's stuff. I did that while I was like
okay, then you're pretty much already caught up.
Yeah, but there seems to be other information I'm missing here because like I was sitting here listening to you guys and somebody said something like about emancipated, but I thought that was something that was only talked about in that group.
No, she's claiming that she's emancipated. She claimed it once. However, not only is she not emancipated, she lives with her grandmother, and this has been confirmed by the grandmother.
And
We've
grandma
also
has
seen
guardianship.
we've also seen grandmother multiple times.
Yes.
Grandmother also encourages behavior, by the way. But also, she's messaged me personally. I have the text messages to confirm this, that she stated that she was 16 and emancipated.
Oh, well, nobody knows what happened in that service dog group chat because I bet you those other girls are not opening their mouths. I'll do it.
Go for it.
Okay, for those who don't know, I actually met service dog educator long before I knew about Maddie and Leo. I think service dog educator was actually the first person I talked to when you were known as, like, what was it, Leo something?
Leo the service dog, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I met you. But it's been a while now. So when I restarted this account, and I did it with the intent of just talking about stupid things that go on, like, that aren't fun in this community, and that's kind of how I met Maddie. And I didn't know what Maddie did because I hadn't been around for some years, and I kind of, believe it or not, stayed mostly to myself because I knew how stupid the service dog community could get when you had a target on your back, aka what I'm living now. But with that being said, when I met Maddie, Maddie presented herself to me as being someone who was safe and, like, very friendly. She never treated me badly when I met her at first. Like, she seemed very trustworthy until I found out what she was doing to Leo. And when I started figuring out what she was doing to Leo, I got blocked, which was fine. Whatever. I didn't care at that point. But later on, I apologized to her because, like, I thought I was at fault for it. And I was in a group chat with her with, I want to say 5 other girls. And the group chat was set up specifically to watch her, for her seizures. For those who don't actually know this, I have 3 other siblings. I have a sister who is fully related to me, a brother who is half, and a sister who is half. My brother is epileptic, therefore I know what seizures look like. And I was sitting there on that group chat watching her tell them that she was having a seizure after seizure and this, that, and another. And for those who don't know, 40-something seizures will actually fry your brain. That's more than, I think, 2 in a given period, if I remember correctly from Ethan. That's an ER visit immediately. You don't just wait to go to the ER. And it depends on how long they last and then, like, what duration they're in. My brother would have seizures and he'd walk around speaking gibberish. That's how. Go ahead.
I do have a family member who also has seizures and has had 7 seizures in one day. However, due to what their seizures stem from, they don't go to the ER even if they have that many in a day.
My brother's was like 10 times worse than usual, I think. I knew that there was a reason why we had to take him after 2. But
Since my cousin has focal
depending on the
awareness.
person, because I like, because of my traumatic brain injury, when I first got out of the hospital and everything else like that, I would have like 5 to 6, maybe 7 seizures a day, every day, but they wouldn't last more than 30 seconds to a minute. And it's really depending on the type of seizure that I had as well. It's usually, it can be anywhere between me, I like to call it flopping like a fish, where I'm like, convulsing. Those would be like grandma kind of seizures to where I just be like an abstinent seizure where I'm just like zoning out and everything. I've had more abstinent than grandma though.
So my brothers could last up to 10 minutes, which those got real scary. And he would just speak. It was like he was speaking an alien language. That's how us kids looked at it when we were little. And he would just sit there and speak gibberish and then he'd wander off. So that's how our brothers presented. And then there were times where he was flopping on like a fish on the ground. So that's what I grew up watching and seeing. And but when I was watching Maddie, I never saw anything remotely like Ethan's enough for me to be like, okay, yeah, this is, you know. And I did notice that as soon as her grandmother walked through the door and said something about calling the ambulance, she was right up there, after having one.
Yeah.
And my brother could never
Yeah.
recover that fast from
Yeah,
one.
I also, Bumble, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I've even stated as an individual who has seizures, you're not up walking around within seconds. For me, it's like anywhere between an hour to 2 hours, before I can fully recover from a seizure. Now, can I be mobile by maybe 30 minutes? Possibly, depending on what type of seizure I had. But even with an absent seizure, it's like 20 to 30 minutes before I'm able to get up and mobile. Because it feels like you've been hit by a bus. Like
Yeah.
is what I like to
Yeah.
call it. It's like your whole body fucking hurts.
Yeah,
Because
and she
it's just
also
your
has
brain
had
haywire.
seizures and was up and twerking less than 2 minutes later. Quote unquote.
Yeah.
And I liked what I like. I'm gonna before you keep continuing. What I want to just disclaim again: we are not doctors. We cannot say that they are faking these things. We ourselves can say, we don't think that that can be true. Blah 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 blah. This and that. This is how we've seen it, but everybody is different. So just because we say, with like for me, for example, I'm not up within minutes. It's more like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the seizure. Many people can be different. I don't want to just sit there and say that they are faking these seizures or anything else like that, just in case they are legitimately not. But to me, it is unlikely that they are not. But again, I just want to disclaim that because I don't want people to feel like we are being ableist and saying that they don't have these conditions when in reality they may have these conditions.
To be fair, also, you never know what's, medicated or what's not.
True, that as well. So that's why I also want to just disclaim that. I don't want to say that they are lying about these conditions, but I also don't want to say that they're telling the truth either because they've been known to lie. So we don't know what's true and what's not.
But,
And
from watching that growing up, it just seemed kind of, fishy.
Fishy, yeah.
But there were a lot of things that kind of happened in those chats because, like, there were times where I was watching her hang up lights in her room and she'd claim, like, she's having a seizure on a ladder. Well, I can tell you point blank from watching somebody who's had seizures. If you have a seizure on a ladder, you're falling off that ladder.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Like I said, usually depending on the seizure, but most seizures if you're on a ladder, you're falling off of it even with an abstinent seizure.
Go ahead, Keaton. You want to say something?
Oh, no, we're good. It's just I just don't know how none of this came to a head earlier or sooner. You know what I mean?
Well, people have tried on multiple occasions with her because, like,
I think she's been blacklisted like twice now.
Twice?
But that's
I think it's been more.
blacklisting someone and spreading awareness as widespread as it has been recently. Yes, I get it. It's because she put her dog down, but
Well, I've heard
if
about
things
this
had been
issue a
said
year
or
ago.
done sooner,
I heard
Leo
about
could
this
have
issue a
probably
year
still
ago
be
when she
alive
was
right now with
claiming
a
that she
good
was in a
owner.
DV relationship and that she unalived herself. I heard, like, this was like a year or so ago, and I heard about her and Leo being a protection dog and all of this kind of stuff,
Oh,
and she
I've seen
claimed
her
Leo as a
send Leo
protection
on
dog.
live bites.
Yeah, and she's claimed that it was a protection dog and all this stuff. I know that she was called out like a year or so ago. There's been multiple people spreading awareness about this individual. They just kind of like popped off. And by popped off, I'm not meaning like off a line, but they were kind of like not relevant until when they just put Leo down recently, and now they're back into like everything, you know? And that's why that people are talking about them is because, and a lot of people are, you know, the friends that are sticking up for her is like, I don't understand why people are mad at her for putting her dog down. Like, if the dog's biting people, why would you want the dog to be around and blah, blah, blah. It's like if the dog was wrongfully euthanized, then we have an issue because that dog could have lived a much better life, you know. And that's all I have to say. You know, as a non-trainer perspective, I feel like, you know, dogs should be able to live the best life that they can at the end of the day.
I'm gonna agree with Sierra down there that says I don't think it would have saved Leo because Maddie was never willing to give him to someone else in the first place.
Yeah, I know.
I
That's cool.
100% agree because people did offer, hey, we'll take the dog. We'll take the dog. And then she just was like
No,
not responsive
I
to
heard
it.
that
So
too. That was the problem.
even if the dog had rage syndrome, she could have given it to somebody else. And guess what? I'm going to say this with my full chest. I almost guarantee you nobody would have been able to give that dog a diagnosis of rage syndrome.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everything that she says, especially when it comes to analyzing how she described when Leo was about to go into a quote unquote episode versus rage syndrome and how rage syndrome is classified, it does not match up at all with what rage syndrome is and how it is, like how it presents.
Yeah,
Because
I've
the way
had
that she was telling people about how before he would go into an episode was that his pupils would dilate and he would go stiff. That is not how rage syndrome.
Yeah, no, sorry, dog, go for your throat.
Episode.
Yeah, sorry, no. Kate and I've told you about the dog that I had to tell their owners that their dog might have rage syndrome, and that was even a tentative might, you know. And this was, I mean, I'm not going to get into it because I'm that poor dog, you know. It was just born that way, and it couldn't control it, and it really hurts my heart to say.
Absolutely. But the thing is, Leo was not born that way.
Leo did not have rage syndrome. He was not genetically predisposed to it with his breeds.
So all of this didn't happen until after we started the protection work, correct? If correct me if I'm wrong.
What?
And again, we probably all don't know this because we weren't with the dog. But Leo was when she first started showing Leo off. From my perspective, when she was joining my lives, she never mentioned anything about Leo being reactive, Leo having biting issues, Leo doing anything on those circumstances.
The reactivity.
She did tell me that Leo has had issues with this since, quote, and I'm quoting, since the day she got him at around 8 weeks of age.
Absolute nonsense. She told us that he has no issues in the beginning.
That's what she had told me.
In my life, she has never once stated that Leo had an issue during when she was in my life.
I know. I'm just telling you what she had told me, if that makes sense. I'm not discrediting what you're saying.
I do want to point out that the bite work didn't start until she started getting associated with a ghost.
Agreed.
Yeah.
See,
start associating with who?
Ghost.
Emma and Ghost.
I'll also say this.
I don't
This is
know
a different handler. It's a different handler. But
Okay.
I'll say this. She has the propensity to go, ooh, shiny new toy, and then picks up shiny new toy.
But isn't that every service dog handler to a point, though?
To an extent, yes. I will say this. I kind of do the same thing too. I don't go, shopping for diagnoses, but like when something starts connecting a few dots, I do have my doctor test for it because I'm a giant question mark. And since I'm a Heinz 57, individual myself, who knows what kind of genetic shit that I got. But, you know, it, I'll do that selectively, but I won't immediately go, ooh, shiny new toy like Maddie does.
Oh,
Literally.
absolutely. And I mean, Bumble, I'm also similar to that on the shiny new toy thing because how long did I tell you before I got my diagnosis of POTS that I think I have POTS?
Yeah. Like, and Kate,
Here's my
recently,
thing.
hold on.
Here's what I will say really quick though is I am not like that at all. Like with my kids, I test for everything just for a precautionary, but I like
Well, it's not a
everyone
thing
can
of we
sit here
want
and say this.
this.
As long as most of you have known me, I have always stated the same thing. I have a traumatic brain injury that causes seizures. I've never claimed to have anything else.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
She would have a
And
seizure in front of a camera and then be fine 20 minutes later shaking her butt in front of a camera.
Peyton literally just said that.
absolutely.
Yeah. But like no, like what's really stupid is that like there's a healthy level of ooh shiny new toy in like curiosity towards, like, hey, maybe I have this.
Or the
Maybe I should
dread
talk
of
to my
it.
maybe I should talk to my doctor about this because this actually is concerning me. Like with my and I told you about my recent diagnosis of fibromyalgia, Katen, an educator. Like I was like doing actual in-depth research on this shit. I was contacting people about this and asking them, hey, what were your early signs? I didn't just go, ooh, shiny new toy. I'm gonna call I have it. No,
Yeah.
I literally spent months and months analyzing and simply going, hey, I think I might have this. Who do I talk to about this? How do I go about getting a proper diagnosis?
Yeah.
So
Maddie
my
just goes,
stuff,
ooh, shiny new toy. I don't care what happens.
my stuff goes a bit different than most handlers, I think, because how I got my diagnosis probably is kind of weird. So like when you go for disability and the state has their doctor check you out.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I got all my diagnoses by their doctor. So I have an entire list that was put into a court document in the state of Wisconsin. So I have a list. Here's how this worked for me. When I became an adult, I went and had that list reconfirmed by a different doctor and then again by another state doctor. So I've had a list. I've always had a list because my dad was a bit crazy like that. But the thing that comes down to it is like I've had my list. I just don't wave my list around. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I have my list as well. I don't wave around everything, but I will tell people a few of the things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it protects you more on the internet. I'm sure some of you guys will agree with that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, for Maddie, it must be nice to be able to have a seizure and then start twerking 10 minutes later. I can't do that after a seizure.
You know what's really funny?
That's what I said.
Purposely.
I said that during like my seizures and everything else like that after I have one, whether it's an absent seizure, it's anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes depending on the duration of the absent seizure. I was like, and then if it's like a severe seizure, like a grand mal seizure that happens 30 seconds to a minute, those are like an hour to 2 hours. I am like, I can't get up, I can't do anything because my whole body feels like it was just hit by a bus. I am in pain, my head hurts, everything hurts.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I even pointed out that sometimes even people with PNES, which are
that's what I have.
Even they, have even if it's not like
no, hang on. Did we say anything about Emma? Who the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Emma?
So I mentioned Emma. I'm the one that mentioned Emma. I was saying how the bite work didn't start until
after
Emma got Maddie into the whole bite work stuff. She was the one.
Are we talking about the Emma that's associated with Piper?
No.
Okay.
Different Emma.
I don't know who this Emma chick is then.
she's essentially she's not an essential part of the drama, but she's the person that encouraged Maddie to do the bite work to begin with, and she's not a good individual either.
No,
I've never heard of this individual, so I don't know.
Good,
and you're very lucky.
Good.
I don't
Stay
know
out
who
of
this
it.
person is. So
Don't
Diamond,
touch it.
I don't know anything
Listen.
about this Emma person.
We're not
Listen,
touch.
Look at it.
Educator, don't touch. Don't touch.
Don't touch.
Diamond, yes,
Why are
the
you
fuck
talking
she
about-
does. Yes, the fuck she does. You cannot lie to us. You may lie to yourself and your minions, but you may not have a qualm. No.
I don't know
Emma-
who this Emma chick is.
I know she was associated with Maddie because I was once associated with Maddie, and they were both very close with each other, and they were both teaching each other bite work.
Emma was
I
literally
was
on a
thinking
live
it.
show telling her and, correcting her on how to use a bite sleeve. No. She's associated with Maddie too.
Wait, I have a question for you, Amy and Apollo.
What's up?
Were you ever in a group chat on Facebook
I am in multiple group chats.
with Maddie?
She has nothing to do with Maddie anymore. She fucking
Yeah, but she did.
Don't
Oh,
He
remember.
did.
here's the thing.
I might have.
Hang on. Let me say this really quick, Diamond. We stated that Emma had to be dealt with they stated. Let me correct myself. They stated that Emma was the reason why she started to do bite work. That is all what they stated about Emma at the beginning of the story that they were telling. It wasn't. We never said that they had anything to do with them right now. We never said that they were still friends with them, but we said the reason why Maddie started doing bite work was that's what they stated. Started doing bite work was because of that.
Yeah,
Maddie-
she's the reason why she started bite work.
Diamond is friends with Emma. That's why she's a little upset.
Then why was Emma literally encouraging it in the live stream that I was in and a guest in it? Cause
I don't know this Emma chick. I don't know who the fuck this person is. So I don't fucking
Best
know.
bet, stay as far away as possible.
I don't know this Emma chick, so. Or is it?
I don't know
the
much about
pronouns,
them
so I don't wanna
either.
be
I
a-
just know that they were like best friends at one freaking point, and that's when I freaking slowly went away. Not because of Emma, just because the freaking situation started getting worse.
Hi, Cameron. Welcome back.
I
Okay,
don't know if you're
cool.
talking to me, Diamond, or if you're talking to whoever.
Hey, she was a part of the situation at one point, so that's
We're
not
just
my
going
problem.
over it.
We're just going over it. Emma wasn't a part of the whole Emma. Blah, blah, I can't talk.
Emma was not a part
it at
of the
one
full
point.
Maddie situation, but she was a part of it
She
and
was a part
encouraged
of
it.
it
In the beginning.
in the beginning.
And again, we're not stating that she's a part of it now, or they. I don't want to.
That they're currently a part of it. We don't have
They're
proof
not.
of that.
But I don't think so anymore.
Yeah,
It really wasn't that long ago.
I'm done talking to you, Diamond. I'm done talking to you.
Yeah, I mean, you can stay friends with them. That's cool. But Emma can stay over there. No, thank you.
I don't know this Emma chick, so I don't have them blocked. So they could come over in here and they could have a conversation with us. I don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah, we're going over the history.
Yeah, of how the whole bite work and stuff started, because that's when I was associated. Because at one point, Leo didn't know any of that shit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
it was just a really fine, nice dog, and all of a sudden she's seeing, all these different dogs knowing bite work and all this. She's like, oh my god, I want to do it now.
and then claiming that she has 6 personal protection dogs.
Oh my god.
And then claiming that she's 25 with 5 children. Then it goes down to 3
She at one point
children.
said it was 6, by the way.
I never heard 6. I heard 5.
I heard
I've
6
never
at
heard
one
her
point.
say 6.
I
I will
heard
state
5.
that.
I'm
I've
sure
never
she
heard
probably
her say
switched it up. She probably switched it up at one point.
Another
Yeah,
one.
she said that she had 6, and then she had 5, and then at some point she had 3, and then she said that she had a miscarriage, and that one of her kids passed away of cancer, and that it was actually her nephew or something.
Wasn't it
Her cousin that she grew, or that she
Cousin.
the parents were like substance abusers or alcoholic abusers, and she took care of the kid.
Yeah.
Hi, Leo.
But yeah, the reactivity with Leo didn't happen until after the
Yeah, a
bite.
bunch of other people too. I forget.
It was
their names.
it was noticeable before the bite work kind of started because again, she said that her dog was attacked, so it was like, okay, well that makes sense. But it didn't really start becoming noticeable until after she started doing bite work, until after she started encouraging said reactivity. But yeah, no, it wasn't rage syndrome.
I also have a
No,
question.
it's because he just. It was in the beginning. She handled the
Set
reactivity
up for
all
failure.
wrong. She failed it.
She confused him.
Literally, just confused him.
And I'm pretty sure
Also, really quick, if nobody's seen the YouTube video, you really need to check it out. But I found this funny. One of the adults who's been sticking up for her claimed this in a live stream not too long ago, saying that she slipped on ice kicking the dog by accident. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
no.
I watched that video. That was her not slipping on ice. They were trying to get the dog to react to the neighbor, and then ended up heel kicking the dog. Whether it's a like a mean kick or like just kind of like a bump to the dog, either way.
Wake up.
Apologize to the dog.
You'll have a nightmare. I don't like you having nightmares.
And
Is it
here's
who
another
I think it
thing.
is?
What?
Who?
The
What?
adult.
Oh,
Huh?
Apollo's
Huh?
having a nightmare, so I woke him up.
Okay, yep. Thanks, Sierra. That confirmed who I was thinking.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
But yeah, like again,
Here's
like
another
knowing.
thing.
Stretch it.
Sorry,
Maddie,
you first.
Sorry. When I used to have Life 360 with Maddie.
Oh, hell no. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's how close I was with Maddie at one point before I knew any of the bad stuff.
All right, go lay down.
You're in New York too?
No, I'm not.
Really?
Stay away. Thing is that she might
I was
still
living
have
in
my
Texas
address.
at the time.
She might still have my address, but I really don't care.
Do what?
What's she gonna do?
That's the true thing. The thing is that I have a lot of neighbors. I have lots of eyes, so if anyone comes over here,
You know what's really funny? It's just like, what you gonna do? Show up?
Yeah, I want her to show up.
I mean, the
You know what's
worst
really
you can
funny?
do is
I got
dodge you.
myself guys, I'm gonna say this right now. I got myself a brand new toy. And Kate, and I'm gonna have to send it to you, but I got myself a brand new toy. It's 25 inches long and nice and sharp. I got it for $5.
And one's a bully mix that I have no problem sicking on people.
I mean,
Not trained
unfortunately,
and aimed to do service work.
Unfortunately, my dogs have the brain cells of manatees, but I don't.
All Paul's gonna do is bark at you, and you walk in front of him, and he starts running away.
Oh, hold on, Amy. You
Oh,
know
he is
those
at home.
videos of people being abducted in their homes and their dogs eating food?
Oh my god. See,
Yeah,
Apollo
my dog
acts
Ace
tough.
would be like, "Oh no, a human! Just gonna eat the food." Listen, if I just eat the food and I pretend that my mother's not being abducted, I'm just gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine.
Unless they bring out the
I've seen that one. Was it the German Shepherd one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Kaiten knows my dog pretty well. Just bring out the Swiffer. And he's disarmed. Just bring out the Swiffer and wave it at him for a few seconds. He'll be disarmed.
Here's a question, and this is something maybe I don't understand because, well, I've stayed in my own spot for the most part over the years. But how the heck does the community just decide who are bad handlers and who aren't? How did that
I
start?
guess as soon as you make a mistake or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, what's really funny, you know what's really funny,
Slip up.
Fen, you know what's really funny is that I've never been called out for anything that I have done dog training wise. I have been called out on the blacklist because I am quote unquote, to quote that one, I am not a quote unquote nice person.
That's
You
it?
were called out
That's
for
it.
that.
You were quote unquote giving a mean girls list.
No, it's not even that. No, it's not even that. No, I'm just not a quote unquote nice person.
That's it?
I want to go on a mean girl
Literally
list.
it. That is literally the only thing in the blacklist that you will ever see about me is that I am not a nice person.
Is that all that was on there? Is that this person's not a nice person? That's all I
Yeah.
have to say. Literally,
Was
oh my
it
god.
said Bumblebee is a mean person and she doesn't, or something. I don't even remember what the full thing was. It was like she's not a nice person, and it's like, oh.
And because you were quote on telling a new handler, hey, I'm not going to tell you to not interact with these people, but I'm going to give you a list of people. Just watch your back around them.
Just
Yeah.
because I need to make sure I wrapped my mind around what Sierra's saying. You're saying that too many people are calling it a mistake when it's an intentional choice,
Yes.
even
An
though it's lack
intentional
of
choice.
education?
So there's a difference between intentional choice and a mistake. A mistake can happen once or twice, but you grow from it, you learn from it, you do better. An intentional choice is like what Maddie was doing.
Maddie's been doing that shit for years.
Yeah, there's a difference between a mistake, like let's say popping your dog's chain too many times in one go. But then you're told, "Hey, don't do that. This is actually how you do it, and this is actually how you use this tool." And you go, "Okay, I've learned from that. That's my bad."
Hang on, I got a better example. Leo, when Leo was in training, I used an e-collar on him. Okay, I had no idea how to use an e-collar and everything. And I left Leo's e-collar on 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. Like the whole entire time I had it, using the e-collar. Ended up doing burns on him when I found out. Took the e-collar immediately off, found out that I did it wrong, and I never used an e-collar again. And I made sure
question.
if I was going to use a tool to get better education on it.
Okay, I have a question for you. Are you sure they were burns, or they were or are you sure if they were burns or
Wear marks,
necrosis? Scarring?
I don't know. It wasn't like I don't want to
didn't
say
smell
burn.
bad.
No, it didn't smell bad. I don't want to say burn.
It was probably pressure wounds.
You could see his skin from it though.
Yeah,
But
that's
it wasn't
pressure
like,
wounds.
but
Yeah, that's
like
pressure wounds.
yeah.
So that's not necessarily like the like.
But
Like
I
we
didn't
want to
know
talk
he
about
couldn't
necrotic.
wear it I didn't know I had to take it off of him.
Now, if you want to know
was
about
able.
necrotic, I have seen a person in my area when I was a quote unquote corporate level dog trainer. I worked for Petco for like 2 years as a dog trainer. I did have somebody come in with a dog on an e-collar that they never took off in the 3 years that they had this e-collar. That dog, the way that this dog's neck smelled.
Oh.
And
Oh
the
gosh,
wounds.
or when you leave a ring on that's too tight for too
Yes.
long.
The holes. I took that e-collar off immediately because I could like see like this, like it was not right. And Kaiten, you know what I mean by not right. And Amy, I sure too, and Fenrir, I assume as well.
Yeah, I know. My dad had an e-collar on his dog for over 3 months, and I told him, Dad, you need to take it off.
But
first of all, you should not be using the e-collar. He's like, I shock him. I'm like, you should not be shocking him.
You know what I like
should
to do?
also mention that I've only ever owned 3 dogs in my life, so no, I do not know what you mean.
Okay, well, it essentially it just doesn't look right.
Okay, I have a question for you, Fenrir. Have you ever seen like those videos of where if a dog's had a collar on for too long and it leaves like this like line of where the collar used to be?
Yeah, because I see
That
that in
times
my
10.
own dogs.
It's just
That's
a
what my
raw
dog
area. It's just very raw.
Okay.
It's red. It smells bad. It looks bad. It's kind of
The
like looking at
smell,
an infection from underneath a Band-Aid.
Gotcha.
The smell.
Yes,
If
Lauren.
do you know what gauges? Do you have gauges?
No.
Okay, have you ever met
But I
someone
know
who
what they
has
look like.
gauges? Do you ever met someone who has them?
You forgot to
Yep.
send me pictures.
If you smell their gauges, if they've had their gauges in for more than, I'll say, 2 weeks, that's the
There's
smell.
a smell.
That's the
Wait,
smell.
hold on. If you've ever had a Band-Aid on for, I don't know, and gotten it wet, that's kind of what it smells like.
Does
but
it
like
kind of
times
smell
10.
fishy, like when you've
No,
gone diving
it's-
and inner tubing too long?
No, it
No.
smells more like death.
Okay,
like, kind of like
that's
a really, really
better.
bad, really,
I've
really,
smelled
really bad
death
yeast
before.
infection. really bad yeast infection. Kind of like that.
Yeah, guys, we might have to wrap up pretty soon. It is getting kind of late.
So when are
But-
you hosting that next live? Because I'd like to come back in here and kind of hear more opinions on this.
We're doing so it's our podcast and everything. We don't have a set date yet because the individual that we want on here hasn't given us a time because they have a really busy schedule. But we're in the works of it and we're trying to do it. But we can do more after hours lives like this where we can have individuals up. Because if we do the podcast, you guys just won't be allowed up because it's for the podcast. And post it, and we'll post a video about it. But we can do like more of these, like every Friday night or whatever.
Okay, because like I'd like to come in here and ask more questions, but I, excuse me, don't always have the time. And this actually worked out perfectly because it was later at night.
Understandable.
Yeah, well, I can do more after hours on like after our podcast and everything. I'll keep this prompt, and we can do an after hours where we spend like an hour or two up here and talking with everybody and letting people come up and ask questions and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna make a new one of these, and I'm just gonna call it the official Yap session.
Okay.
The
That's
after
actually
podcast
fitting.
Yap session.
Very fitting.
By the way, Fenrir, how have you been?
Me?
Yeah.
Sicker than a dog.
I'm sorry.
I,
We got the
sick
plague at my
too?
house.
How
huh?
are your dogs,
You've been
by the
sick
way?
too?
We got
Well-
the plague at my house. My kids got the plague.
Fenrir is getting into the new car. So we've got
That's
that.
good.
And he's still acting really funny. He's acting like a cat now.
Oh,
I
no.
completely get it. My service dog in training got attacked 2 weeks ago, so I get it.
But other than that, we're moving along. One of my trainers that I worked with for like classes and stuff is taking a look at him and seeing if they can help me muddle along the cat-like behavior. But we're having fun doing weird stuff, I think. So as long as we're having fun, I suppose. But I've been kind of bedridden for like 2 weeks since I caught this stupid stuff I've got. So
Everyone has caught the plague for some reason.
I had a throat infection just not a few days ago, and I had to get antibiotics.
My kids are on antibiotics. Like we got
With
the plague at my
me-
house.
Oh,
Yeah, I just ate the same thing for a week straight, and I got severely sick from it.
all I ate was Dunkin' Donuts, and I swear it was food poisoning.
I haven't eaten in
I
like
had
4 days.
meatballs for 5 days straight.
Meatballs?
There was nothing else to eat.
I don't blame you.
You know
Sorry.
what? That
Hate
actually
meatballs,
sounds
man.
good.
I don't like meatballs.
What, Ricardo? What? Oh my god, you're wiggling your butt. Oh my god, calm down. You're
Oh,
gonna start
Amy,
knocking
I
stuff
think
in-
this is the first time we're meeting each other, yeah?
Yes.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to
I
meet you
promise
too.
I don't bite.
I don't bite
Amy,
either.
If you can possibly DM me after this, I would love to chat with you if that's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, we can do an after hours things like this every Friday, so that way, if anybody wants to come up and just have a yap session where we talk about drama or whatever we want to talk about, that's fine with me. I'm cool with it.
I do have a question about the community in general, because I don't actually know too much about how this stuff works, because, again, different community, not really paying attention to, you know, everything else. But
Okay,
other than the
I will
whole...
say, hang on, really quick before you ask your question. This has to be the last question because I do have to get off. I'm starting to get a migraine, and my vision is going to go really soon. So, this will be the last question, and then we got to get off.
You're good. Mainly because when I come in here, you guys are talking about like what is a service dog, what is not. Can anybody like make a topic for like what it is to be part of the service dog community, especially online, because it just doesn't seem like it gets talked about a lot.
I'm so my top we can make a topic about it. We could definitely do a podcast on it. I think we've talked about it. Like, have we done an episode of the community before, Bumble? I'm not I can't remember right now. My
Kind
brain's like,
of.
we've kind
Kind
of
of.
done about it. I don't know if I'll do a live about it because my lives are usually strictly on ADA education and educating individuals about service dogs and stuff like that. But if we make a good topic that is debatable, then yeah, we can probably do something like that for an education. But we can definitely do next week's podcast on it.
Because if you think about it, a lot of new handlers, I'm guilty of this too, kind of stumble in the community and make so many stupid mistakes because we don't know.
I've done it.
Right. Yeah. I'll put that down in our notes for a topic to talk about because we do 3 topics. If y'all want to join it, I do have a Discord server for the podcast, and you guys can make suggestions on there. If you guys want us to talk about certain things and stuff like that, I can send you guys the Discord if you guys have one.
Please do.
Yeah, just send me your username and I'll add you and I'll send it to you on Discord and everything. If anybody, any one of y'all want to join it, you're welcome to. It's open to everybody.
Sounds good to me. You guys have a wonderful night.
You too. I will see you guys later. Be safe. Make sure y'all train your service dogs if you have them and haven't already. And check out the podcast on Sunday on YouTube and Spotify. It's linked in the bio. Make sure you guys go check it out. Have a great night and good weekend, guys.
Can rock your body right. Come on, rock that body. Rock that body.